Okay, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of December the 2nd, 2022. Alita's Many Bodies, Android, Cyborg, and Human, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado, actually Littleton, Colorado. More specifically, Ken Carroll, Colorado. And with me, I have Lee from Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Yeah, pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, we kind of getting a little bit of a late start here. I've been pretty busy this week. I haven't had didn't have much of a chance to advertise this. But we're going to still press on here because this is a fun topic. And I want to sort of, kind of link it with the Radio Chaos topic that we got coming up tomorrow on our stream there, where they're going to talk about which body is the best. Now, we're not going to do that here. We're just going to kind of look at all the bodies and, look at the characteristics of them and the specifications and stuff like that, and just kind of discuss each one. It is going to be somewhat similar to a stream we had, I guess, the first of last month, where we talked about which body Alita had, or which version of Alita had the most uwu. And we're going to kind of review that just very slightly. I'm not going to go into any great deal, but I felt like I had to do it in case Angelus came on. He might be working though, I'm not sure. But Angelus has always got to see the uwu, so I always put that in there for him, So, but anyway, we got a few folks out there, so I want to say hi to Giancarlo Correa. He's or Correa. I'm sorry, sorry, Giancarlo, I guess, from science fiction remnant, and there he is. He's coming on the stream. How's it going, Giancarlo? Oh, we can't hear you. You must be muted. Yeah, we can't hear you at all. That's okay. You can work that out. Yeah, it must be something on your mic there, I guess. So it shows you're unmuted on my end. So anyway, welcome aboard there, Giancarlo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Giancarlo. Yes. Okay. You'll have to forgive me. My Spanish is freaking horrible. And a lot of people tease me about it. So anyway, that's the way it goes. Oh, there we go. Now we can hear you.
You're good, man. You did it right, actually. Not many get it right the first time.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of similar to that guy that plays for the Yankees. I can't remember his last name. Giancarlo. He hit 59.
Stanton?
Yeah, Stanton. That's right. He hit 59 home runs. What was it, about 10 years ago, I think, wasn't it? Something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a pretty good hitter, too, that guy. Anyway, don't want to get off on baseball too much here. So, where are you from, Giancarlo?
From Dominican Republic, but been here for more than half of my life now.
Okay, cool. So
Floridian. I'm a Florida man.
Oh, you're a Floridian now. Okay, well, I'm a native Floridian. I was born in Pensacola. So, there it goes, but I'm in Colorado right now. So, it is what it is, as they would say. So,
nice.
So anyway, how's things going down there in Florida, Giancarlo?
Good. Can't complain. It's not cold. It's not hot. Doesn't happen often.
It's kind of nippy here. I don't know, Lee, if you guys got the winds that we got up here in Denver. God, man, it tore the gutter off the side of my house. So
yeah, we had really high winds last night. I could hear them howling outside.
It kind of reminded me of a time I rode out a hurricane there in Pensacola back many years ago, where it sounded like somebody was hitting the side of the wall with a big sledgehammer. That's kind of what it reminded me of. So anyway, yeah, it was pretty bad, I guess. So, and for those of you on that are viewing this now, there's not a whole lot of folks out there, but that's cool. If you want to jump on the stream, here's the link. Just click on that and we'll pull you right in. Giancarlo is going to be on the stream with us tomorrow when we talk about, which of Alita's bodies are the best. So here we're going to do a setup here. We're not going to really talk about which body is the best. We're just going to look at all the specifications, if you want to think of it as that.
Various aspects and capabilities of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Before we do, though, want to talk, just remind everybody, because there'll be a lot of folks that are going to be watching this after the stream is over, but sign that petition. There you see it at the bottom there, or on the slide there. We've got, we passed 177,000 late last week. I think we had like 77,030 or something like that late last week. So we're adding about 4 a day, maybe 5, which is not a lot, but we've still got a lot of signatures on there. It's like, as you can see, over 177,000, which what's cool about that is the Snyder Cut folks, they got 170,000 and they got their version of Justice League. So, we got more than they have, and hopefully that'll help us make the case for a sequel with Disney. Okay, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the, to the bodies, I guess, that Alita has. And this is not limited, to the movie itself, as though you see those 3 bodies there. Those bodies there are what we saw in the movie. And of course, all 3 of those bodies are also in the manga. And I think 2 of them were in the anime. I think I've only seen the anime twice, so I'm not real sure about that. But I think the doll body and the berserker body were in the anime, but I'm not dead sure about that. I don't think the motorball. Well, I know the motorball body wasn't in there because they didn't do motorball in the anime. So, but you can see there's 10 different bodies there. And tomorrow, what we're going to be doing. Does the tree count? Just a fan says. You mean like Groot, huh?
Well, I think he means the tree of life. That
that tree of life thing. Well, she's a human, or she comes out of it as a human, I guess, when Figure 4 finds her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when she turns into that, she basically her consciousness gets subsumed into the supercomputer or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think at that point she kind of stops being Alita for the most part. So I don't think the tree counts.
Nah, I don't think so either. So anyway. But anyway, as you can see there's 10 different bodies. There's 3 versions of the Imaginos body, which is strictly a manga body. So is the tuned body. The body also is strictly.
Well, so far, hopefully, maybe the tuned body will show up in the.
Oh
sequels.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we definitely want to see. Well, you know what? If the Creek has his way, we're going to have like 6 movies. If the Creek has his way, and we're going to have a series to boot, and even an updated anime. That'd be great too, I think,
the more the better.
Yeah.
I think an anime is overdue, actually.
I think so too, because that anime was in the early 90s, wasn't it, that thing?
I watched it as a movie on YouTube, all caught up together into one big piece.
Yeah. Well, it's enjoyable, I mean, you can tell it's 90s anime, though.
You know what it reminded me? It reminded me of Trigun when I saw it the first time. Robert was showing it to me.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about Alita back then. And I was like, this is like Trigun a lot.
What, did Robert turn you on to Alita, Giancarlo?
Yeah.
Nice. And being
it's his fault.
Yeah, being a good foot soldier for the Alita army, I guess.
Yeah, he made me watch the anime before we got to watch the movie, because we were going to watch the movie and then he asked me about it and I was completely oblivious to it. But then no, wait. And then we watched the anime and then we watched the movie right at the back.
Yeah.
It was so much better.
Yeah, that's a good way, because it kind of gets you to go higher up on the bar. See, I know I saw the movie first, then I read the manga, and then I saw the anime. So that's the way it worked for me, and I've enjoyed all 3 of them. Certainly the manga to me has got a lot of depth and a lot of detail in it.
That's a nice thing. When you get to read after, it just enriches your experience.
Oh yes, it does. It does.
It's like watching a movie. It's like reading a book and then watching the movie. Usually, movies don't excel the expectation of a book.
That's right. Yeah.
But the other way around, oh yeah, the more the better.
And they got so much source material in that manga. I mean, they got more than enough to do many movies, I think. You know. So just kind of hoping they pull that off. I heard it
said that Cameron actually wrote out plans for a 3-movie series.
Yep. Yes, he did.
And Rodriguez only used like the first third of it.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted, Cameron certainly he did, wanted to do Alita Battle Angel. Then he wanted to do Alita Fallen Angel. Then he wants to do Alita Avenging Angel.
Yeah, that's right.
So, nice. But I'm not sure how far in, I don't know. I've never seen the notes. I know they're on the internet somewhere, but, I've never seen those notes. And I know that it goes pretty deep. Now, I don't know if it goes into the Last Order or not, The Last Order, Alita is kind of a different, kind of a character. I mean, it's still her consciousness and that kind of stuff, but she's totally different. We'll get into that as we get to these bodies, the various bodies. But anyway, any thoughts, Lee or Giancarlo, what you guys think of any of these bodies? I mean, here we go. Alita on the PETA. Okay, who do we have here? Alita on a PETA. Who is that?
It's me, Künstler 99. How's it
going? How's it going?
It's like Elf on the Shelf, but it's Alita on a PETA.
Yeah, Elf on the Shelf. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, what was that thing? There was a movie about what was it? The 6-inch cowboy or something like that. I can't remember.
Was that Indian in a Cupboard or something like that?
Indian in a Cupboard. That's right. 6-inch cowboy. Holy cap, Gary. Yeah. So anyway, how's it going, Alita on a PETA? Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in my car like always.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it sounds like yeah, that's our pal Jeff there. He's near Chicago, Illinois, actually. So glad you could make it there, Jeff. Or Alita on a PETA. Let me keep saying that. Yeah, we haven't seen you on. We hadn't had you on the stream for a while.
No, I know. I'm busy most days. I actually had to take like a half day so I could do my general, appointment with my normal doctor today. So normally I get off at like 5:30, and then by that time, it's like got to get dinner ready and everything for the fam. So
yeah,
it's hard to make it sometimes. And I'm in the car because we want to get food out this time. So like, all right, cool. I got like a good half-hour drive. So
oh, cool. Well, great. Then you can. By the way, just in case you're not aware, Alita on the PETA, aka Jeff, he or Künstler 99 actually. He did my bar, sign, my Kansas bar sign for me in my bar. So I don't think Giancarlo, you've never seen that, have you?
Nope.
Let me play that just so Giancarlo can see it. This is and I'll show it to you when we get there. But anyway, this is, you see that sign right there? He actually did that sign for me.
Oh, nice.
And this is my bar right here. So you see. So
okay,
anyway,
man, I'm going. I already saw some good stuff in there. I'm going to pay you a visit when I go to Colorado.
Well, come on, man. Anybody in the Elite Army, you come to Denver, we'll have a drink at the bar. So
you're a whiskey man. Perfect.
All right. Well, I don't really drink too much anymore. I'm a power lifter, weightlifter type of exercise freak now is what I am. So anyway, and there's, you see some of my medals there on the wall. But anyway, and I've added a couple since then too. So anyway,
now you're being a show off.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
You play guitar too? Oh yeah.
I used to play in a band. Yeah, that was many years ago. So
looks beautiful, man.
Yeah, thanks. So anyway, I just wanted
caveman.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I just wanted to, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off because I just wanted to show Giancarlo, but anyway, Jeff there, or Künstler 99, actually did that for me, you know, so that's great. And I've had like 3 parties since then, and people always comment on it. A couple of them said, Kansas, I thought you were a Florida Gator fan. So I say, okay, you got an hour for me to explain to you about this sign.
Yeah, honestly, every time I've shown people like stuff that I've been able to make, they're like, "Oh, I like that band."
Yeah, Kansas. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I forgot all about them.
Yeah, that was that Hooked on a Feeling? No, that was Boston, wasn't it? Yes,
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm really proud of that sign, man. It's and it's been a topic of conversation at a couple of the parties. You know, I haven't had any real big parties yet. You know, I've COVID kind of knocked a hole in that one, you know. So anyway, for a while there, anyhow. But I've had 3 really small parties, you know, and that's. I see you got a guitar on your wall back yourself there, Giancarlo. Do you play?
Yeah. No, I don't. I try, man. Two of my siblings do. One plays guitar and the other one plays guitar.
Oh, okay, cool.
I do the art, the painting, and stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, I think last time you were on, you had one of those virtual.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I got one of those. They're pretty nice. So.
Well,
okay.
I'll tell you this, that I've been like, Robert has one too, and we try to hang out sometimes. We're trying to create like a virtual space where we can host a show virtually.
Yeah.
And like, so far, there's no games that keeps me on it. I find myself watching YouTube videos or reading my manga on it.
Oh God, I watch Alita on that thing, and man, I'll tell you, it's awesome. Like being in the movies.
Watching 3D on it is badass too.
Oh, I haven't seen it in 3D. So
man. Feels real.
Yeah, I don't have a 3D player anywhere to hook in.
Oh no! On the Oculus, you can play 3D stuff.
Yeah, I know you can, but I mean, I don't have a player. I mean, there is no is there a streaming service that has Alita in 3D on it?
You might find it on big screen.
Okay, all right.
And I mean, if you have the file on your computer of a 3D movie,
yeah,
you can also go to big screen and you can actually cast your computer into it, so you can watch it there.
I do have it.
So you can, when you go to big screen, which is a free application, you can rent movies in there, but you can also play the file from your computer. And if it's 3D, you can watch it in there 3D. And like, you can change your environment, so you can make a movie theater or like a small man cave too.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Then you have to have the glasses for sure, right?
No. It plays 3D inside of the Oculus, so you don't have to have the
Holy
glasses.
Crap! Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm there. I am there.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Oculus Rift, where because it's sending you different images to each eye, like it's able to do the 3D for you just using analog picture instead of you have to mix the 2 screens or 2 images on top of each other and filter through the ion filters or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, anyway, all right, I'm gonna check that out. I am definitely gonna check that out because I know I have to go up to Do Not Stand By's house up in Arvada, which is he's not too far away. He's like 25 miles from my house.
He's not too far from you, no.
Yeah, he's a long ways from you, Lee. Because the three of us watched it here about 2 months ago, wasn't it, Lee, or something like that?
I think so.
And it was cold. I mean, the wind was blowing, and this was in I guess early October, I guess. Or was it just before Halloween? I can't remember which.
I think it was before Halloween.
Yeah.
The thing is that where you're in the outskirts of big mountains. So cold hits hard with those winds that cut cheeks.
That's what we had last night too, Jack. I mean, it was punishing, But we were sitting outside watching it, which is where Just Do Not Stand By where he likes to, show the movie, and the 3 of us were out there watching. We were suffering, boy. It was cold, but we were still watching it. And finally, we said, "Okay, this is getting too cold. Let's move this inside into the house." So anyway, we went in there and watched it. So I've seen it in 3D 3 times, and it knocks my head off every single time. So we're gonna have to watch it again. I like that scene where, at the end, where Grishka, shoots those grind cutters at Alita, it punctures her side. But when he shoots them, it looks like those things are coming right at you, man.
Yep. That's the cool thing about 3D. It drags you into the movie.
Yeah, it does. Okay, well, anyway, there's the 3 bodies. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of last month, we had a little competition, I guess, where people in the chat and the folk, certainly the panel was on. We had 3 or 4 folks on the panel, and we all voted, and we kind of we paired them off like this, and it was in alphabetical order. That's the only reason you see it going down the left-hand side there the way it is. And we had a vote on each one of those pairings, and we came out with Alita in the Berserker body had the most ooh-woo. Now, we were quick to point out that all of Alita's versions there all had a lot of ooh-woo.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, but Berserker won out, over the Imaginos body.
I think the whole ooh thing is just a baseline stat of Alita in general. So,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, because she's definitely got that ooh, and of course, so Angelus really loved this. Because he's always about Alita's ooh.
Yep.
Oh, she's less threatening on the ceramic first body that she gets, because at least she cannot just mess you up. It's just a matter of agility.
Well, she looks less threatening.
Yeah, no, she looks.
Yeah,
she's
but
just as dangerous.
She's still pretty freaking dangerous in that body, But as you can see, we had a really fun stream the 1st of November on this, and where we voted on each pairing, and the winner on each pairing advanced to the next round and stuff like that, until we determined, in just the few people we had there, I think we had like 4 people in the panel, and there was like 10 people in the chat, or could have been 15. I don't remember. I have to go back and look, but we all voted on it, and I think Alita, won the Berserker, her version in the Berserker body won out. So. Now, the reason why I got that up here is I didn't know if Angelus was going to be on or not. So I put it in there for him, But our stream today is not going to be about, certainly, anytime you talk about Alita, you're talking about ooh-woo. There's no doubt about it. But, here we just want to talk about the different characteristics of Alita in each individual body. And this is going to set us up for tomorrow when we have a more in-depth discussion about which of these bodies are the best. And we're going to do a similar thing tomorrow, like we did on the 1st of November, except it's not going to be just ooh-woo. It's going to be the whole total package, ability to fight. Certainly ooh-woo would play into it. How much of a what's the word? My look at her even her personality, because Alita, her personality changes depending on what body she's in. I mean, she's still basically Alita, but in her Imaginos body, she's a different person than she is.
Yeah, it
say
seems
in
different
the doll body.
Aspects of her personality get accentuated based on the body she's installed into.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and that's probably, we'll get into that tomorrow too. But we're going to do a similar thing tomorrow, for the different bodies, in terms of when we get on Radio Chaos. So.
Would you venture to say that she having a different personality characteristics for each body would also be adapted to whatever the situation or the need was? Because every time that she changed her body, as far as I know, there's something going on that calls for her to upgrade or chrome up.
Yeah, that's true, and that's even that's somewhat. I guess you could say that's somewhat identifiable in her Berserker body, because it it conforms to her mental image of herself. But that Imaginos body, particularly the Imaginos 2.1 body, that thing is freakishly OP.
Oh yeah,
that damn thing is. I mean, I've been on streams where we've talked about her fighting against like Thanos and Darkseid, and I'm quick to point out, if Alita's in her Imaginos 2.1 body, she's going to take either one of them. because I mean, just freakishly powerful, you know. So anyway, we'll get to that. So
do you know what's interesting? I know it's not a part of Alita's body, but when I was thinking about Such's body from the Fizzoroy body, that one's almost like a particle accelerator.
yes,
If you think about it.
And she has a nuclear bomb as a heart.
yeah.
Well, I kind of forgot about what his core is on that one because I didn't know that they talked about that much. But what I know is as far as like how he uses his body, like after it's upgraded, is basically the fluid that's in there, like he's able to manipulate to move at the speed of sound. Basically, I know it's not the speed of light, but it's like the speed of sound. Constantly to be able to maximize the power of it.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, man, that's a crazy concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't. I thought about Zex. You know, I guess if I could have got Cran on, we might have had Zex in here somehow. But yeah, I think Zex. You know, he's AR6 and he's a replicant. You know, he's the only male replicant of the Alita bodies. You know, Alita, there were 12. Was there 12? There was 12 replicants, wasn't there?
I think there was 12.
I thought I heard somebody say there was 13. That there was a
13 was the. I was referring to that story, that other fan fiction I was reading on AO3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the guy basically created an AR-13 as a character for his story.
Well, that's pretty smart, really.
Yeah. So technically, there's 11 replicants, and Alita is AR1.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she's number one. She's not a replicant, but she's
right.
Yeah, you're right.
There was no AR1. It was AR2 was the first replicant.
Yeah, that's right. And there was 12 versions. And you know, Elf and Swerf, which is 11 and 12, that's German. Those those are kind of like Alita in her berserker body, I think, from what I remember. It's been a while since I've read that. So and then of course but you're right, Alita on a PETA is that that Fizzoroy body is pretty powerful body. As a matter of fact, I think Zeka also had a Fizzoroy body too, didn't he? In that when they fought in the Zot.
Yes, yeah, he has. Yeah, basically, he's got the same exact body as as
Zex.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's right.
The funny thing is I was working on a clock face for the AR series Alitas.
Oh, nice.
And I was gonna use their faces with the numbers on their foreheads as like the hour symbol.
that it would have been excellent. Because it would go from 1 to 12, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so obviously 1 wouldn't have any number; it would just be Alita's face, and then just the different faces. Obviously, you don't see all of them in the book, so I'd have to like Photoshop the numbers on a lot of them. Yeah, but, yeah,
that's right.
I was working on that. I thought it would be funny.
Well, yeah, that does sound pretty cool. You know, I mean. You know, her face, with the exception of Zex, her face is the same on the other 10 replicants. You know, on Zex or AR6, you know, he's a male. He does look in his teeth. What gets me about his teeth, you know, it's like to me they look like a bear trap or something. His teeth, you know.
That's what I always thought of.
Yeah, you know. So anyway,
either that or a shark.
So what you'd have to do on him, Künstler, is you would have to make 6, you know, at the bottom of the hour, you know, you'd have to put Zex's face on there, you know, is what you'd have to do, you know.
Oh, yeah. I already have a design concept. It's pretty funny.
Oh, nice.
I would almost say have Alita be the 12 position and have Zex be the 6 position, just to have them in opposing sides of the clock.
But you can't have Zwolf be... Zwolf has to be the 12 because she's number 12.
Yeah, that's right. But what you could do is you could make that number 1 position. You could make, you know, her face a little bit bigger, you know, to where it'd be more prominent, and then make the others smaller, maybe make Zex's face the same size, as Alita's face, and then the other 10 replicants, they would be smaller in some with that number on their head. But if you've already got a design concept there, don't listen to me. I have no clue what that would, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, it was just the perfect number. I'm like, I got to try this.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's going to be cool. I can't wait to see that. Okay, I guess moving right along, Giancarlo, I don't know if your video is messing up. Maybe he's going to that VR image of him.
Oh, I could do that. There
he goes. Yeah. No, that's okay. You don't have to.
You guys want to see my head, Bobby? I can do that. What I want to do with the VR is really like I want to do it like in VR chat, so you can see like a full body sitting up like in a host show place. That's the plan.
You mean kind of like on a stage or something, right?
Yeah. Literally, just like a night host show. So like it's gonna be like a little desk and like a couple of couches for like people that will be invited and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, in VR chat, you can set up whole environments and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I need to learn how to do that, man.
That would be cool. You could do that on Science Fiction Remnant, couldn't you? If y'all do streaming, don't you? Or do you just
all of our episodes, like we posted 1 month after we posted a podcast episode on Spotify and things like that. We put the videos.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool to see that on VR. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's the future, man.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, how cool would it be if I can like have a outfit like maybe like the Doctor or like Nova? It would be pretty guess.
Or I could be like Zex.
Yeah, you can be whatever you like. That's the fun thing about VR.
That's right. Yeah, I think my avatar, on Oculus is not, it's not too creative. I think it's one of the stock avatars they have on there, So
that's what I have on VR chat. Like I don't know how to create a personalized one yet. I think I need to go to like I'll do a lot of what I call the University of Internet, YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can move on here to the various versions or bodies that Alita has, and this is the first one. And just to just kind of lay this out. Now, we've seen on this stream here many versions of all these bodies in a format similar to this. And this Berserker body, consider this kind of a combination of the Berserker body in the movie and in the manga, and even the anime for that matter. I mean, we had that discussion during that Uwu stream, and someone asked, does it matter? Which body, and not really, I mean, Alita is Alita, whether she's in the anime, the manga, or the movie, I mean, so,
yeah.
But anyway, Alita herself, certainly she's a cyborg, and of course, that's a combination of human and machine. And, she does have superhuman strength. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean she's like, as strong as the strongest human on Earth. I mean, she is an order of magnitude stronger, which is like a factor you could think of as 10, or it could be like triple or whatever, but it's multiple times stronger than the strongest human. Mm-hmm. She has some extreme durability, as you can see there, which means she heals real fast. We saw that with Grewishka, when he shot those grind cutters out at her. I think he was kind of expecting that in one way that he could slice her in half like he did when she was in the doll body, and he punctured her, and because I guess he had to fire that grind cutter through that glass, and didn't have quite the control over it that he had in the.
I suspect he might have been intending to wound her.
Yeah.
To weaken her for what he expected to be an upcoming fight in which he tore her apart. Worked out that way.
And I mean, we're not taking into consideration. Maybe he had orders not to destroy her because Nova wants her. So
Nova seemed to basically just want her heart, and I think he wanted her dead.
Yeah, no,
And
but I mean, think
yeah.
about it. Since there's something that cannot be destroyed, Grishka has the uphill batter because he cannot just throw for the kill.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
So
you know,
I know.
Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm not rooting for Grishka, but I think that he had a harder fight since he cannot just shoot to kill compared to her.
Well, I do know that Nova, you know, when I guess when Nova had when he kind of took over Grishka's body, you know, when he was hanging up in that frame, you know, that I guess Shirin had him in, and he did tell Grishka, he did tell Grishka that he wanted her to tell him to kill Alita and bring her heart to him. And then Vector also echoed that, you know, before that, what was supposed to be a tryout for the Motorball Second League. He said, I'm going to pay 500,000 credits to anyone who can kill Alita, you know. So, I mean, they wanted her ass dead is what they wanted, you know. They wanted her heart for sure. You know, you're right about that.
That's
that
so romantic.
Yeah. Well, I don't think romance was in their thoughts there on that one. So,
hey, you know, they say that love is a stronger emotion than hate.
Yeah,
there's a fine line.
That's right. But anyway, I think in the case of where he shot that grind cutter at her, going through that glass first probably was a little bit of a issue for aiming it, you know. But I think he didn't count on that self-healing factor that she had because he didn't know about it, you know. So and she healed like within 10 seconds, you know. So but she's extremely fast. We saw her now, you know, I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but I did a video on you know, how her speed, strength, and power, and I was able to estimate with as close as I could with the information I had, you know, that when she was in there chopping up those Centurions, you know, she was jumping around and doing all, swinging the blade, turning and stuff like that. But it was like 15 seconds. And I kind of estimated the distances she had to cover, you know, to get all of the Centurions. And of course, then it's just a simple matter of distance divided by time. And it worked out to 125 miles an hour, you know. Now that was in the movie. Now in the manga, yeah, in the manga, she can run Mach 6.8. So I mean, that's stupid fast, right there.
I wouldn't like to be running away from her.
Well, you're not going to be able to run away from her. She's going to catch you no matter what, you know.
Honestly, if you put it on a perspective, I think that not even Iron Man stand a chance against her.
I don't think so either.
Doesn't matter what armor he wants to pick. He's trash.
Yeah. Well, if she's in a berserker body and she has that plasma weapon, that's going to be tough for anybody to overcome. You know, I think that because we've had a stream on that too, where we kind of figured that plasma weapon coupled with that, you know, with a Damascus blade is going to be able to cut through vibranium, you know, or adamantium. You know, I mean. Because it's extremely hot for one thing, you know, and then of course we've also surmised that perhaps the material that the Damascus blade was made out of was maybe synonymous or somewhat similar to that material called Beskar, which can deflect lightsabers, you know.
Yep.
So you know, but that was pure conjecture on our part, you know.
But I mean, think about it. I mean, looking at it from I'm not scientific, I'm not Ray, no. But basically, if you look at it from the scientific perspective, what do you use to encase any kind of nuclear material? You use plasma.
Yeah, that's right.
So you have an element that is non-physical on top of a very durable steel, and I mean, it's coming from Mars. It's something that I explain about talking about outer worlds. Is we're using our periodical table of elements to think that everything else in the universe is like that, and it's not. We might discover in another planet, even in Mars, things that will expand that table to a lot more elements that could be actually way more durable than we can imagine.
Yeah, my thought on that, not to get too scientific-y here on this one, because I did I did for a while major in physics, you know, but I think probably you would still see a lot of the same atoms, you know, in other places, but it is very possible that they could find additional elements that are not here. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
That expands to our system.
Yeah, that's
we're talking
right.
about perhaps in another system, another type of elements
Who
could
knows?
be found, but we shouldn't find something way more different in the whole system of our star.
Could be. But anyway, she can run freaking fast. That's nearly 7 times the speed of sound. I mean, in her berserker body, she can run faster than Zex can in his Fizzoroy body.
So I got a question on that one. So because I forget in the manga, in the berserker body, because if it's the berserker body, then it's it's got to be within the first like couple of books. Like I know she got up to like almost like 900 miles an hour. Like when fighting Nakarishka, Makaku. Yeah. But so where does she go faster than like Mach 3?
Now I don't remember. What I do sort of remember, and maybe you or Lee or Giancarlo, I don't know if you've read the manga or not, but there was a panel in there where I can't remember exactly where, but there was a panel there when they saw her running, and their whoever that person was she was going to fight was supposed to run like faster than her or something like that, and they said, well, she's only approaching us at now this is my memory. She's approaching us at Mach 6.8, and we're faster than that. And that's what I seem to remember. Now I may be off on that. My memory might not be 100% there, but that's kind of what I remember about it. But you might be right. It might be just 900 miles an hour. But I do seem to recall that Mach 6.8. Now I'm going to go look it up after we get off the stream here. I'm going to try to find it.
Yeah, I gotta. I'm wondering if it was the computer. The computer that Makaku had that like on the body that he stole.
Could be. You mean when he killed Kanuba?
Yeah, when he killed Kanuba and took the body in the manga, and then like because then he had like the computer reading Alita, during the fight thing, and I think it might have been during that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Could be. Was that where you saw 900 miles an hour or what?
Yeah, that's when he was like.
All right, I'm gonna go look because I know where that is in the manga, so I'm gonna go look that up. And if not, I will do a retraction. Anyway, be that as it may, she is freaking fast.
Yeah.
I mean, even 900 miles an hour, that's faster than the speed of sound right there.
Yeah.
If she's running after you, you're not going to get away.
I think that with one jump she can get out of the stratosphere.
Yeah. Well, and she's got super fast reflexes too. Now, what I was also able to estimate in that one video I did, that first shot that the Centurion shot at her, I mean, I had done a comparison of the weapons. I compared that particular weapon that the Centurion had to a Gal 19, which is a military Gatling gun type weapon. And it had a muzzle velocity of 2,910 feet per second. And assuming, and this is where I had to make this assumption that Centurion was 30 feet from her, then she actually deflected that bullet at a maximum time of 10 milliseconds, which is stupid fast. It's like 20 times faster than the fastest human reflex, and she was probably faster than that because that's how long it would take the bullet to travel from the barrel to her. So to deflect it, she would have probably had to been faster than 10 milliseconds. Because when they fired the gun, that's when she had to move. So it could have been as fast as 5 milliseconds.
I have a relativity question for you. Do you think that these ability to have such speed also interacts with her perception of time?
Yes, and particularly when she's in the Imaginos body. We'll get to that one. It's even more extreme there, you know.
So basically, what's 1 minute for us could be an eternity for her.
Could be.
So
And for her, yeah, go
I
ahead.
think, especially in a circumstance like that, and especially when you consider other manga, other anime, and how they kind of depict, is I think you get into anticipating the shot before it happens based on finger movement, or like trigger movements. So then you're kind of setting yourself up for when it fires. But yeah, I would still agree with you that the reaction based on that movement would still be within like 100, like probably within an actual millisecond of
Could be, yeah.
just, like a computer processor, like picking up information and like interpreting the action based on an algorithm. Like even computers have more lag time than that,
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
yeah, it's very interesting in the fact that it's still a human brain at the time when that's occurring, that her reaction time is essentially superhuman in that capacity.
That's one of the things that
do you think that would overload her?
And I wonder if, because you have the eyes are still electronically, mechanized because they're not her real eyes, if the body goes into interpreting data as well alongside the brain.
Or independent of the brain, or maybe asynchronously or something like that.
Exactly.
Not only that, but also like moving that fast, depending on how sturdy and durable your body is, it will break it. It's just like the guy that is like Silver from X-Men's. He has to hold your neck to run, because if not, it will break and pop your neck.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about her too on that one. I'm gonna get to you in a minute, Lee, because I know you were going to say something. But that weapon that was fired at her was 100 caliber gun. I mean, it was, because I was able to estimate that based on her, how high she was, how tall she was, and and compared it to other weapons and stuff like that. So I don't know if you know what the kinetic energy behind even a 50 caliber, type of bullet. It is awesome. If you shoot somebody in the head, they're at close range with a 50 caliber gun, it's going to blow their head completely to bits.
Yep.
And that Centurion was about 30 feet from her, and he shot it, and she moved that Damascus blade precisely where that bullet was going to be, and absorbed and deflected that bullet. Now that tells me that she has awesome strength like that. I mean, because a person, let's say you were holding up a paddle that was made of some kind of metal or something, and somebody fired a 50 caliber gun that you were holding, not at your hand, but at the paddle you were holding, and you tried to hold that thing still, there is no way you could have done it. Because I don't know if any of you have ever played baseball or softball. You ever hit a ball where it stings your hands?
Yeah.
There you have it.
After 90 miles, you start feeling that.
Yeah.
So here's the crazier thing. Like, I guarantee you, if you had a Kevlar vest that actually was able to stop the bullet, you'd still be turned into a human milkshake.
That's right.
The amount of energy would just like molecularly, like it would destroy the shock wave would be enough to kill you. Yes.
Particularly a 100 caliber bullet. Oh my God. I mean, that's really a cannon. It's not like a rifle bullet, So anyway, Just a Fan, he said, just look this up, that the speed, now I'm not sure what weapon you're talking about here, Just a Fan. I'm assuming it's 50 caliber, but Mach 0.94, which is about 700 feet per second, something like that. Now it says it's less than 1/4 the speed of the grind cutters. I don't know about that. I mean, to me, those grind cutters looked a lot slower on film than the bullet did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, it is freaking fast. She'd have to have super fast reflexes and be able to absorb that bullet to the degree where she deflected it like that. I mean, her strength has got to be just freaking awesome, you know, and it didn't damage her.
That
You
talks
know,
a lot about her durability too.
Yeah, like if you had something on your hand like that, let's say like the way she blocked it, and you had your arm behind it like she did, and the bullet hit the blade, and your arm was, you know, kind of holding it, it would break your arm at least, you know, easily break your arm, you know, for a meat boy, you know, it'd break their arm, you know. Okay, here we go. Just Fan said, okay, he was talking about Alita's top speed against Makaku was Mach 0.94. So okay, I'm probably wrong about this Mach 6.8. I don't know where I saw that thing. I'd have to go look that up, you know, somewhere, because I know I saw it somewhere, you know. But yeah, you're right, Just Fan. Yeah, because that would be closer to what I think Künstler was saying there, or Alita on a pita. Saying, you know. Anyway, certainly as a cyborg, she's got, you know, kind of extreme stamina. You know, I remember reading or I listened to the novelization sometimes when I'm driving cross country, and there was a passage in there where they were talking about, you know, cyborgs can run till one of their legs fall off. You know, a human can't do that. You know, Lee, you were going to say something a while ago, and I think we interrupted you. What was you going to say?
I was going to say that one of the things they did in a lot of other cyberpunk stories, like the tabletop game and whatnot, co-processors attached to the brain could allow a person to react to situations or look like they were reacting to a situation much faster than the human brain can, because the processors were actually taking in and processing some of the information. So things like defensive actions could be taken at a speed that the human brain wouldn't be able to process otherwise.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be like having a multi CPU system, wouldn't it?
Yeah, basically there's a machine back driver in your body.
Brain enhancer.
That's working in tandem with your own brain's intentions and whatnot.
So basically it would be using almost like an outcome algorithm based on your thought patterns, but it would be autonomous because your brain still wouldn't have the speed to make the conscious decision.
Well, like I was saying, it wouldn't necessarily be autonomous. It'd be working in tandem with your own intentions.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a combat situation, you're going to have certain intentions towards attacking a target and defending against a target.
Mm-hmm.
And it can help read those intentions and act along those lines.
So,
well, you know,
but it's still going to be based on the state that your mind's in. So like if you're if you're in a combat situation and your brain's like, I'm in combat mode, like just consciously, then still when the system's taking over based on the action, that your brain, like either your brain's still going to make the decision or it's going to be basing it off of your general intent. It still would be somewhat autonomous because your brain can't interpret that immediate interaction, but it's based off of the history of intent.
And that berserker body could be set up exactly like that too. You know, it could have had more than one processor in it. You know,
and that's the thing. The speed of those processors could be astronomically higher than what we've got now, because if they've got the ability to generate stasis fields, that can be used as a containment system on a regular basis. I mean, I think every one of their ships probably had one of those stasis field containment systems. They've got self-modifying nanotechnology, a micronized antimatter reactor in a human-sized body.
That right there blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, they've probably got processors that are like quantum processors, basically.
Well, I know Melchizedek's a quantum computer made up of many human brains, I guess. But they're all in concert with each other to some degree, you know, and they're also autonomous from each other in some degree, you know. So,
but the quantum processors they've been screwing around with these days are really primitive
compared to this.
Compared to what this would be.
Yeah.
But they would have, once they get advanced enough, there's a certain level of predictive ability that they would have.
Yes. Well, we'll get to this too when we get to her Imaginos bodies, because that, you know, she's linked to Melchizedek, you know, maybe like Wi-Fi, you know, but she's linked to that, you know, and then of course we'll get to that when we get to the Imaginos body, you know, particularly the 2.1 body. So, okay, but anyway, but Alita is really old. I mean, yes, you know, she's in that doll body. She appears to be like
14
you know,
or something like that.
14 years old, maybe 15 or something like that. And, you know, when she gets to that berserker body, you remember Gerhard said that it looks like she's a little older than you thought. That's what she told Ito, you know. So I think she was probably maybe 18 or 19, you know.
Well, in the notations that they had, Cameron did note that her apparent age would be somewhere between 14 to 18. Ito, because he would be looking at her as a surrogate daughter, would err on the younger side, when her actual age was around 18, close to 19.
Yeah, I think so, because, well, not to get too far afield here, but you know, when she was in the ERM military, which we're going to talk about that here, her ERM body, we're going to talk about that one too. But according to that one backstory that's on YouTube, that one video, she was 17 years old when she finally got put into a, you know, class 1 berserker body, you know, that the ERM has, you know, maybe that kind of berserker body like this. And, you know, she had to go through training and stuff like that, and then had to make the trip here, you know. So she could very well have been 18 at least, you know, when she got here, you know. So.
Well, that's the thing. She probably had additional fights in between there too, because she was fighting a major battle on the moon as well. It was probably one of Mars' attempts to break through Earth's defenses before getting to Earth itself. Yeah,
that's right. So she's really old. Now we've talked about her brain being in stasis. So it's not like her organic brain is like 300 years old.
Yeah, temporally, she's 300 years old. Biologically, she's maybe about 18 to 20.
Yeah, that's right. You know, she certainly has advanced nanotechnology in this berserker body. I mean, that's
highly advanced. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Künstler. But anyway, much more advanced than any nanotechnology we would have now, or even say like Iron Man would have.
Yeah. Well, we don't really necessarily have actual nanotechnology yet. They've been making some advances in prototyping it, but they haven't really got anything useful yet.
Yeah. And of course that plays into her being able to, her self-healing. Of course, that's kind of that self-modification thing, but that's subconscious. And that might play to the thing we talked about a while ago, where, you know, there could have been several systems that are working on this. You know, and of course, all those nano machines probably would have their own form of processor in them, you know, that are specifically programmed to do certain functions. You know, like if she gets punctured by Gruishka, all of the nanites that are in that area are going to, you know, they're going to be
programmed to repair or reform back into the original form that they were in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete Alita was saying, "I'll see you later, guys." So apparently he had to.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. Okay, yeah. So anyway, that's that. Of course, she's got that plasma weapon. The neat thing about that plasma weapon is she doesn't need that Damascus blade to use that plasma weapon.
Yep.
I mean, if you somehow manage to get that blade away from her, which is going to be a
good luck with
that's
that.
going to be good luck with that one. That's right. That's going to be an obstacle to begin with. But if she punched you and she had that plasma weapon activated, if she punched you with a fist like that, you would just literally burn up. You know,
I actually had that happen in chapter 21. She gets into a fight with the guy who attacked the clinic, and she fainted, or she attacked him with her sword. He managed to actually evade the attack, but she used that as a feint and took a did that whole knife hand attack like she did to punch through Gruishka's eye.
Yeah.
But she used a plasma field around it and basically punched through the guy's chest.
Yeah, wow.
And vaporized his heart.
God almighty.
Kind of what would happen if in real life you get punctured by a lightsaber. It will vaporize you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
that's right. Well, that's you remember Qui-Gon Jinn, when he fought Darth Maul, Darth Maul stabbed him through the middle, and I
Yeah.
guess it was through his heart. It probably did the same thing to him,
Hmm.
So
In real life, like there's a guy that I love following. I don't know if he's making a videos called Because of Science, but he basically picked all these topics, and then he tells you the real science behind it. What will happen if it was true? And like he says, like if you get touched by a lightsaber, you wouldn't get a nicely burned cut.
No.
You'll get blown up by
yeah,
vaporized.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I think it's
Also-
like 900 kelvins.
Yeah,
that's the
well,
thing.
it
That's-
varies. It
Yeah,
varies.
that's
you know.
also the
Yeah.
the science fantasy aspect of Star Wars, because it's not purely science fiction. There's a lot of fantasy elements in there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
love bothering Robert with that.
yeah, we kind of went over something like that here a while back, and we determined Alita can control this too. The actual temperature of the arc plasma. We figured that and I can't remember what stream it was on, but we figured that the temperature in her hand could be anywhere from 900 degrees to 11,000. Depending on that, and that was a wild ass guess on our part. But anyway,
But think
I
about
remember,
it too. It could actually harm her because she's welding this power.
Yeah.
well, that's right. It
Well,
would-
I would
yeah.
imagine there's a magnetic containment that's used
Yeah.
to keep it away from the surface of her body.
could be,
Wow.
yeah,
Because otherwise, yeah, you don't want your soldiers hurting themselves with their own weapons.
yeah, that's right. And she knows Panzerkunst, of course, which is, as we all know, is a martial art that has been specifically developed for cyborgs.
Do you want me to debunk that? Do you know what it looks like she's practicing? Wing Chun.
Well, now there is one thing about that. I did see there was a video, I guess, on YouTube where a guy was saying it was a Wing Chun master was saying Alita was using Wing Chun, but in her interview that she did, her and Robert Rodriguez were doing this interview with, I forget who it was now. She mentioned Krav Maga. She mentioned kickboxing.
Yeah, I think it was a
Okay.
number of different styles. Were
Yeah, but
integrated
she
into-
didn't mention Wing Chun. Now, the thing about Wing Chun, though, and like any other martial art, because I've done a couple of videos on this myself, that she, a lot of those movements and a lot of different martial arts are pretty similar. Like a front kick is an example. Just about every martial art I can think of uses a front kick. It doesn't have to be just like Taekwondo,
But there's
Or-
only one person that uses roundhouse kicks.
I don't know. When I was in Kenpo karate, I learned a roundhouse kick in a.
That's what Chuck Norris does then.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, Chuck Norris can run with scissors and still, and everybody else is in danger. But yeah, I remember one of the first karate tournament, or the first karate tournament I competed in. I learned what a roundhouse kick was.
Oh.
But anyway, and I said, God, what was that?
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't even know what hit you.
Yeah, and it's not a technique specific to Kenpo karate, but everybody in the studio learned it after that. Because I mean, you learn stuff. It's a good thing,
Oh, in
I was
Street
just
Fighter, they
looking up
actually bring
the,
that up. What were
I
you
was
saying,
just-
Dave?
Oh, I was just going to say, going back to the plasma, just for the hell of it, I was just quickly looking up a plasma arc cutter.
Yeah.
25,000 degrees Celsius is the
Yeah.
highest temperature they get up to.
Well, I think Maxie, I can't remember because it's been so long since we had this stream, but he said, now he wasn't thinking about that magnetic containment like you were thinking about, Lee, but I think he said 11,000 might have been the highest because of the metal, on her
Structural
hand or
integrity of the
yeah,
body
something
itself.
like
Yeah.
that, So, but like you say, if she can control that magnetic containment field around there to protect her hand or protect her body against that,
Mhm.
heck, maybe she can go up to 25,000.
That was one of the things that I also did is I I kind of made a assumption that she didn't actually dodge every single shot that was fired at her in the fight scene in the movie, because I kind of made the assumption her body is actually tough enough that if it's a glancing hit, it's not really going to do any damage to her.
It will bounce out.
Yeah, because she's got a lot of rounded surfaces there. So
yeah, that's right.
That's true.
And of course, that last bullet right there, perseverance and determination. That to me is the
Well, I think
the trait. Yeah,
I think
does
perseverance and determination. That's going to be like her character trait. It's not going to be a trait of the body, really.
Yeah, not the body. Yeah, that's going to translate over to, and that also, you could play courage into that. Although she does get scared from time to time, she's afraid. But
that's the thing. Courage isn't lack of fear. It's
I agree. That's
persevering in the face of fear.
Oh, now you're quoting Green Lantern. Oh no,
you just got it out of my mouth, man. That's what I was gonna say. It's true.
So anyway, that's our girl in the berserker body. Then there's a civilian body. Now the civilian body, this is only in the manga, and being a cyborg, certainly she's stronger than humans. Matter of fact, you could even make the case it's still superhuman. I don't know about order of magnitude, but maybe 2 times stronger, 3 times, who knows? And of course,
that's the thing with her Panzerkunst capabilities, her ability to focus the force of her strikes. She wouldn't necessarily need to be that much stronger than a human.
No, that's right. Yeah. And of course, being a cyborg, who's part machine, she's very durable, and certainly she's faster and has faster reflexes than humans for sure, And she has a similar stamina, that she would in a berserker body or other cyborg bodies, is that because she's part machine. Now, the only thing she'd have to worry about, of course, is her brain. Does her brain get mentally exhausted after doing something? I guess that's possible,
I would imagine so. I think it's certain chemical builds up, that certain chemicals that build up in the brain that cause us to become eventually more and more fatigued, as well as what happens to the body itself. She could probably go for longer. Yeah, she's not got the flesh and blood body dragging her down, but eventually I think she's probably going to have to get some level of sleep.
Well, also I think that even her cyber blood, in the novelization, they talk about her cyber blood and her heart's blood being 2 different things, and they are, but probably her cyber blood or those nanoid machines probably also protect somewhat the organic parts of her. So it may have the ability, I don't know, but the nano machines may have the ability to take some of those chemicals away from her brain that would drag her down, that would also allow her to go even further. So that, coupled with the fact that she certainly has less of a human body to drag her down, who knows how long she can go.
Well, there is the having a human brain, she's still going to be held back by the limitations of that. And the normal human can't go for too long. I think 72 hours is as long as anybody has ever really been able to go without suffering serious deleterious side effects.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything beyond that, you start getting into some psychological damage.
Yep, I've been there.
Yep.
Not fun.
Yeah, we're going to get to that one, Jeff. There's Künstler again. That's Alita on the PETA right there. That's who that is.
Alita.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can only stay awake so long. That's kind of the point Lee was making too. You start getting the sleep deprivation is definitely going to, come into play here. Now with her, I think she can go longer than humans without sleep, but she's going to have to sleep sometime.
Well, if she's got systems to help her brain handle the higher speed of a berserker body, then she's probably also going to have certain systems, as well as maybe even in remembered training, even if she doesn't remember getting that training, that would allow her to postpone the effects of fatigue.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she's certainly very old here too. Now, the civilian body, this is the body that is...
Well, that's the thing. The civilian body, that being the manga body, In the manga, she was only 200 years old. Well,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. There's a 100-year difference between the manga and the movie. So yeah, you're right. So, but anyway, hundreds of years.
Yeah,
you know,
she's centuries old.
chronologically speaking, Now in this body, this is some period of time, I think, after Motorball, or from what I remember.
I think it was a couple. There was like a 2-year period after Motorball in which she was using the. She had the civilian body, I think, that she was basically living a fairly normal life.
Yeah, she was, and she had an apartment and all that stuff. She was like it's just like a regular single girl, But anyway, she was in her early 20s here, I think, at least in terms of what you might consider biologically, with her brain or whatever. She still has advanced nanotech in her body, but it's mainly the cyber blood. I mean, she doesn't have the kind of the nanites, I don't think, would have that same self-repair, that it wouldn't in the berserker body, I don't think. I don't know, could be she does, She still knows Panzerkunst, because if you remember, one of the things in the manga, she actually opened up a little kung fu studio, didn't she? Or martial arts.
I remember mostly it was just something about she was teaching some of the other hunter warriors certain combat techniques that they might have not have otherwise known.
Yeah, that's right.
Because in the side story Sonic Finger, she had like 3, I guess, students that were hanging around her a lot and learning from her.
Yeah.
And with what Jeff was saying there, that's basically what I was trying to get at, is not having a biological body. She's going to be less held back by that. Yeah,
that's right. Well, there's not going to be the requirements of the body on her brain that it would be otherwise. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but the brain's still going to be suffering from the limitations of an organic brain, which is eventually it's going to get tired and it's going to need sleep. I mean, one of the things that that I think that they've been saying that we need to be able to dream, or to have REM sleep at least, because the brain uses that time to defrag itself.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you don't get REM sleep, it starts to have some serious consequences.
Yep.
I mean, at least until we develop some kind of technology or enhancer that does that while awake, ain't gonna be possible.
Well, there was some sci-fi stories that would talk about certain REM sleep inducing technologies that they would use for soldiers going to a battlefield or something like that, and it would allow them to get like 2 hours of sleep would be like the equivalent of a whole night's sleep.
I need that.
I think everybody needs that.
That'd be nice. I could use that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Larry Niven, a lot of his stories, I remember having something like that.
Wow. And of course, our girl, I mean,
perseverance and determination.
There it is. And that's not, like you say, Lee, that's not a characteristic of her body. That's just her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to change no matter what body she's in. She's going to be an objective oriented type person, She wants to do something, it's going to get done by hell or high water, So
yep.
And that's when I think one of her most endearing traits, I think.
That sense of nobility, I would say.
Yep. Now the doll body, it's similar to the civilian body. It's younger in appearance, I guess, because Alita got that body from Ito, because he was, like you were saying, Lee, he was doing that. He put that body together for his flesh and blood daughter, know.
Who I think was suffering from some sort of degenerative neural condition.
Yes.
Where her nerves were breaking down or something like that.
Yeah, and he wanted to transfer her over to that doll body so she could run and do all that kind of stuff. Like
so she said, because she was wheelchair bound at that point.
That's right. And even in this body, she's stronger than humans. I don't know if has superhuman strength. Maybe she does.
I don't think she has superhuman strength, but I think that she is probably at the upper end of the human strength scale.
I would say so. Yeah, being a cyborg, certainly at least that.
Yeah.
And of course, being a cyborg, she's very durable. Now, she doesn't have in this doll body, like the civilian body, she doesn't have that self-healing factor, like that. she's still faster in reflex wise and speed wise than humans, and got the pretty much the same kind of stamina that I think that she would have in the civilian body. Because I think the civilian body, like the doll body, was built with the tech that Ito could get his hands on, and other cyber surgeons for that day. You remember in the scene where she's preparing for her tryout, he said, this is ERM, if you wreck this body, I can't fix it. This is ERM technology. Well, that tells you right there, that this body is not near as advanced as the ERM, the Berserker body, rather.
Yep.
Here she's got the same kind of longevity, at least chronologically speaking, over 300 years. And she's got the same advanced nanotech here, particularly in that cyber blood, that keeps the systems and everything running. And, it's probably got like our human blood, it's probably got several functions in it, several different kinds of like nano machines, one maybe that does one function, another one does lubrication or something like this. It probably
she has non-dying white cells, probably.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There could be some kind of nanotech in her cells in her body that maybe, who knows, maybe fights off rust, maybe.
That's the thing. That's one of the things I was thinking of, is the cyber blood may provide some sort of minor maintenance to the cybernetic body.
That would be analog to human blood. Yeah.
Yeah. So it provides maybe some increases the lifetime of the parts because it helps to maintain them in some fashion.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we know in this body, she knows Panzer Kunz, because she literally kicked the shit out of those 3 cyborgs in the alley.
Yep.
So, she knows Panzer Kunz, and she can still use it, And then that last bullet, of course, just the same. That's our girl in and out right there. It looks like Just a Fan's coming on. Hey, Just a Fan, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Real good, real good. Glad you could join us.
Oh, glad to be here.
Oh yeah, this is a neat topic. We're kind of, I guess you could say we're studying for tomorrow's stream on Radio Chaos. I guess you could say that, because on that one we're going to look at all her different bodies and figure out which one's the best, But anyway, we'll get to that one. So, any thoughts, any of the 3 of you about her and her doll body?
Not really.
I think that you guys cover it all. Is what I said before. Her only with her knowledge, she's already lethal. Whatever you put her.
Oh yeah.
You can put her on a plastic body and she'll be still just as lethal as in the Berserker. That's just a matter of incremental, exponential.
Let me tell you what,
danger.
if in this body here, she punches you in the chest, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee can do the 1-inch punch. Just multiply that.
Yeah, multiply that by about 100-fold, something like that. Seriously.
The only thing that will make it less deadly is the durability of her body, not her ability.
Well, I did a calculation when she did that axe kick on Garushka's arm. When she cleaved his arm off, and that assuming that that joint, was made of steel. Now definitely it was a joint. So my estimation might be a little off here, but it was still on this same order of magnitude. Her kick was like 20,000 pounds per square inch. Now, if she kicked you like that, say she hit you on top of your head, kicking you like that, and went straight down.
I will make it to China right away.
Well, you know what? Here's another. Well, she could drop kick you to the moon, probably, but I mean, she would split you in half. She would split a human in half with that kind of force behind a kick.
She might have the power of the black hole in her hands.
Yeah, not in this body. Not in this body, but you would think it was a black hole when she hit you. What do you think, Justin Fan? Oh, go ahead.
I think. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the human body under any of those circumstances is going to fold.
Yeah, it's not going to stand up to it.
No,
go ahead, Just Fan.
I think the doll body is probably comparable, I would say, to like a Captain America level in terms of physical ability.
Yeah, I think so.
I think she has enhanced. I think she's above even like like maybe she's as strong as the strongest power lifter, but you have to remember you've got a strength to weight ratio that you've gained magnitudes of capability, even if strength is necessarily the same because it's a much smaller package.
Well, I can tell you right now, she's stronger than this power lifter right here.
Yes.
We've had a couple of streams on that one.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I think in general, I mean, the main thing this body has going for it, I mean, Ito outright states, his daughter wanted to run really fast.
And she can do that.
So that's what he built the body for. Now that comes with a whole bunch of other things. That isn't just speed, but you think of the biomechanics of running, what the body has to be able to do because it's bipedal. It's not wheels, it's not anything like that. So the whole body needs to be able to twist and move and balance itself in real time.
Real complex movements in there, right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. So that in itself is a whole bunch of secondary benefits that lend itself quite nicely to Alita's fighting.
Yes.
But
well, she sure adapted fast when she fought those 3 cyborgs. Yeah, she definitely did. So
it's interesting too, just looking at the mechanics of how the body was built, that basically it's this cage with like replaceable panels on it.
Yes.
Almost like Ito was anticipating, okay, my kid's gonna destroy this thing.
Well, he probably built it like that with all those panels, with it like being a cage, like you looking thing when she had the panel off of her chest and everything.
Yeah.
He probably built it. One of the ideas was, I got to build this where I can have the most optimal way to maintain this, to do maintenance on.
Right. Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It was interesting, and you talk about the different physical properties that the different bodies have to have in order to be durable, and that Ito would have been limited by like whatever technology was available. It's interesting. Just the whole thing is very interesting. Looking at the construction of it.
Well, just the concept of a cyborg, the way Kishiro thought of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was groundbreaking.
Well, we have cyborgs now. There are cyborgs walking around now. Well, Maxie's a cyborg. he has something, that helps him get by, and Tilly, Tilly Lockie's a cyborg, but not like this. Basically she is like 95 or 97% machine,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now I still think she's very human,
I do too. I do too. Yeah, no, what Kishiro thought of for a cyborg in general is just, it's incredible to think of, because basically before Kishiro came along, a cyborg was basically somebody who was disabled, who you felt sorry for.
Yeah.
And, who was in some way like lesser capable. I mean, Darth Vader was like the pinnacle of, screen representation, but he could only do what he could do because of the Force.
Yeah.
So then, he comes along and says, well, what would happen if technology advanced to the point where somebody who was disabled now had more capability than even the most physically fit, healthy individuals on the planet?
Yes.
And how would the world react to that? How would you address that? And what do you do when, somebody like Zapan comes along who is like, yeah, I'm perfectly healthy and normal, but I'd really like to have me one of those bodies. So I'm just going to hack my body off and have them, have the doctors replace it. It's like, how do you address that? And it's interesting how Yukito dissects all that. But
yeah, your mind would have to adjust. In Alita's case, if you go by the Mars Chronicles, and I'm not going to go, I want people to read it, so I'm not going to go into how this happens, but from very, very, very young age, she was a cyborg.
Yeah, you got to be mentally prepared for it, because otherwise you end up like, you would end up like what RoboCop, if you remember his reaction when they put him in that body.
Yep.
And he wakes up and he's like, all right, now take this suit off. And okay, well,
that suit is you.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
Oh boy. But anyway, moving on.
You betcha. Now this body right here, this is just a girl.
This is what
You know,
Pocahontas.
Yeah, well, this is not Pocahontas, but yeah, she's just a human girl here. You know, I mean, she's got average speed. You know, I mean, like a lot of humans do. You know, she's average stamina, that kind of thing. Now, you know, in terms of, if you remember that tree of life thing, and then of course at the end of Last Order, which I'm not going to tell anybody about because you got to read the manga. You know, there is a human Alita. Now, here's the thing about that. You know, she is still going to be chronologically 300 years old plus. Okay.
No, in the manga 200. But
And
yeah.
the manga 200. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's still going to be pretty old there chronologically. Biologically, she is just a young woman here, you know. But I will say this about her. She still knows Panzerkunst.
Yeah.
If you tried to pick a fight with her, the average human, she would kick their butts.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be like picking a fight with a cyborg, you know.
No.
I mean, because she doesn't have.
I mean, she's not going to be able to use her Panzerkunst to anywhere near its full capability because she doesn't have the machine body to do that. But she's still going to be able to do some pretty severe damage to somebody.
Well, she could probably whip out a pretty good roundhouse kick or a pretty good side kick on you, you know, and just really, you know, break bones or whatever. You know, she's going to be pretty. She's going to be badass fighter here on a human scale. But you're right. Panzerkunst is more optimized for cyborgs, but the techniques are very similar to other martial arts. You know, I mean, a lot of them are. So and it's the same girl. You know. She's still got
Panzerkunst actually kind of reminds me of Panzerfaust from the tabletop cyberpunk RPG.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Armored Fist is what I think that translated to. And it was basically also was a martial art that was developed specifically for full cyborg bodies.
Yeah. Well, I was able to pick out, I would guess, like 3 techniques that she did. I actually called one of them out on one of the videos I did that are very, very similar to techniques we do in Kenpo karate. You know, that thing where she grabs the behind the head and slams the Pan's head down on the table. We have a technique in Kenpo. Now, I'm not a practicing martial artist anymore. My brother still does, but I still, you know, remember a lot of the moves, you know. And that move is very similar, you know, to one of the special movements that we learned, you know, when I was training, you know, in Kenpo karate, you know. And I don't mean that Ed Parker Kenpo either. I ain't talking about that Kenpo. I'm talking about really fighting. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, you know, it's very similar to that, you know, although and that Kenpo movement I'm talking about, that special movement, we don't really slam people's head on the ground. You do it, you kind of throw them is what you do, you know. And I imagine she could have thrown, if she wanted, if that table hadn't been there, you know, she could have thrown Zapan with that movement. So,
I thought it was a neat little detail in the movie when she does that. She actually grabs the, like his throat, how it's open. And they got those support system in there. She actually grabs part of that and slams him into it.
Yeah, in the Kenpo movement, you actually get your hand behind their neck.
Yeah, because a normal human's not going to have like a...
You're not going to be able to grab their throat like that. So, yeah, that's right, you know. So, but she could hurt you. I mean...
no doubt.
If she was in a bar somewhere and you thought, you know, you were some dude that thought, I'm going to hit on this girl and, you know, I'm gonna get what I want here. You know, I mean, she's gonna make you pay for that shit.
I remember a story from in the real world back in the 90s. I think it was a young woman who was actually a black belt, and I think it was I want to say Taekwondo.
You know, you reminded me of a story here too. I'll tell you when you get through. Go ahead.
But yeah, she was about 5 foot, just a little young woman. And some big guy, like 6'2" or something like that, tries to get belligerent with her, and she ends up breaking the guy's arm.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, I know a case when I lived in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. You know, there was a case there where, you know, I knew, you know, the people, the folks I trained with. We knew a lot of folks in this other Taekwondo school. We were two different styles, but we had a lot of friends, and you know, we, you know, kind of worked out together sometimes and all that. One of them was this young lady that was like, she was a red belt, you know, which is similar to a brown belt in a lot of karate styles. But, you know, her and her boyfriend were out on the beach, you know, because Fort Walton Beach is right on the Gulf, you know, and you know, her and her boyfriend was on the beach, and this guy attacked them, you know, and I guess he thought he was going to rape her, beat him up and rape her, you know. What a mistake. She literally, she broke his arm. She broke several of his ribs. She broke his leg. And I had the reason why I knew about this was because not from my friends in the studio, near the Taekwondo studio, but I had a roommate that was a physical therapist that worked for one of the hospitals, you know, and he had to, when the guy recuperated, you know, he had to do physical therapy on this guy, you know. And he was telling the story about, you know, the cops drove up there. Of course, the cops showed up pretty as fast as they could, you know. And you know, I can't remember which cops showed up first. You know, it could have been city cops, the county cops came later, or something like this. I don't remember. But anyway, the second group of cops came up there and they said, How's the girl? How's the girl? You know, and the other cop said, well, the girl's fine, but you should see the guy. He's a mess. Because she was like that. She was like 5'2" or something like that. And he was a big guy, you know, and she literally beat the crap out of him, you know. And I said, yes, there is justice in the world.
It's amazing what a little bit of professional training will do against somebody who is either not expecting it or not trained at all.
Not trained, yeah. Well, I didn't know this guy at all that did this, but my suspicion was he's probably not trained. He's big, and he thinks, oh, well, I'm big and I can get away with a lot of stuff, you know. Oh, that's a bad mistake.
Yeah, a lot of guys who might be, you know, street toughs.
They throw punches like this.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like, come get me.
Yeah, they've been in a few fights. They figure they know how to handle themselves, and they're going to be able to, you know, bully somebody else. And someone who is actually formally trained in how to actually fight is probably going to take them down, do some damage to them.
Well, on the opposite side too, it's not the fact that you're training, because I'm not going to mention this guy's name, but I remember fighting him in a tournament one time, and he ended up going to this biker bar. He was a brown belt. He ended up going to this biker bar, and he started throwing his weight around a little bit, and one of those bikers beat the crap out of him. So I mean, it's not the fact that you're wearing a belt, you know, that's going to get you, you know.
There's knowing how to do martial arts, and then knowing how to fight with martial arts.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, but anyway, our girl here, and even in this body, you wouldn't want to mess with her, I don't think, you know. I mean,
at least not in the wrong way.
Yeah, that's right. Now, you might get somebody who's a black belt in one style, you know, that might be able to whip her, you know, but, you know, the average guy's not going to. Hey, Maxie. Hey, Maxie.
Hello, gentlemen. How you doing?
I forgot. Good day, Maxie.
Good day. Hi, mate.
Okay, hey.
Cool. That is perfect.
Gotta put some oomph into it.
Yeah. How's everything down there near Sydney in New South Wales, Australia?
So the missus is under the weather. She thinks she might have COVID, but the test came back negative, but we'll see what happens.
Oh my God. For Thanksgiving, we all met over at my former sister-in-law's house, because we're still, even though my brother and ex-sister-in-law, you know, they divorced and all, we all still consider ourselves family. So we went over there. There was like 6 of us over there, and all of them got COVID except me. Boy, they talk about dodging a bullet, and I wasn't wearing a mask.
Are immortal.
Oh, maybe, but lucky, I think, is more like it, you know. But yeah, two of them were not wearing masks, and 2 of them were, and another person was, or something, you know. And they still all got COVID except me, because I know I tested myself twice, and I didn't get COVID. So, I mean, I was going, God, I was lucky. So, you know, anyway. Yeah, Maxie, we're still got a ways to go. We're not going into which is the best body. We're saving that for tomorrow. We're studying up for tomorrow is what we're doing. So
We are in the
Just going over
Pocahontas
their-
body now.
yeah.
And just going over their various properties and whatnot, and capabilities.
Which we'll kind of review that a little bit tomorrow too. Now here's an insanely OP body. Even though it's insanely OP, it ain't the strongest body yet.
Yeah.
But in this body, Alita's actually an android. She's not a cyborg because she has a brain chip, you know.
Mhm.
Hey,
And-
would this version of Alita count as AR-13?
We kind of mentioned AR-13 a while ago.
Yeah, I
but
know.
that
I've
was
been
in
listening.
a
I just
story.
wasn't
Yeah.
able to get on till now.
I
I
don't
think
think
this
she's
is
a
a
replicant.
whole different class.
Yeah, I
all
do
by
too.
itself.
She's not a replicant here. I mean, she's something that Nova
Well,
trained.
yeah, I don't want to, spoil anything. So yeah.
Well, she's not a replicant in that she's not a berserker. You know, in
You
this
mean
body.
the AR?
Yeah, she's not an AR in that regard, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, she in this body right here, she's an order of magnitude stronger than the berserker body, Alita.
She's an order of magnitude stronger than a lot of things.
Yeah, she is. I mean, and this is not her strongest Imaginos body either. She has stupid durability. I mean, she, it's certainly, she's, she's durable. I mean, just severe, extreme durability,
Mhm.
and she still has that same self-healing factor she has in the berserker body. And she can move at relativistic speeds by that one side story is what we're basing this on. Now, we've said before that that's not actually canon, because it's one of those extra stories. But the Creek loves Alita so much, he says, nope, Kashiro wrote it. To me, she's got relativistic speed. So she can move near the speed of light in this body, She has stupid reflexes, even faster than in the berserker body, and certainly as an android, she has got that stamina that's even exceeds a berserker body, where you got a cyborg there, where you got kind of a organic part, the brain that you got to worry
She
about.
probably doesn't really need much sleep at all at this point.
No, probably not. I mean,
if she still has the same psychological limitations, she might need a little bit of sleep just for the brain to do what it's normally would do. Even if it is a chip, it's still a copy of a human brain and its capabilities. So there might be a little bit of need for sleep there, but she probably doesn't need much.
She's pretty old here for sure.
Yep.
Now I'm not going to spoil too much, but there's a thing that happens at the end of the original manga that she gets rebuilt here, and I don't want to go into it too much because it's spoiled too much. But you could make the case in this body that physically she's not hundreds of years old. Now she does have memories and things like this that go way back, just like she would in a berserker body or a human body, but she's pretty old here. But now she certainly in this body, I think she starts out somewhere in maybe her early 20s, I would guess,
Well, this is after the time in the Badlands and the Toondark, and that was about 10 years or so. So she's probably close to 30.
Yeah, she's at least 30, and I think she's a little older than that, because there was a panel there in the Last Order where she was recalling, when Ito had discovered her, and she remembered that was 12 years ago. So, if now certainly in that doll body she was like 14, but remember when he put her in the berserker body, she was at least 17 and maybe 19, So she's going to be, to me, in her early 30s in this body right here. Now you look at her in that drawing right there, she looks like a little girl there too, but she's very much a young woman here, although she's an android, obviously,
Yeah.
super advanced nanotech, even greater than the Berserker body, because I think this body, and Lee or any of you that's read the manga, particularly you, Max, because you've read the manga about 9 times, I think, something like, or 8 times or something like that. The nanotech in this body kind of, I think, Nova, didn't he kind of experiment, you know, like with the Berserker body, and he...
Well, he
you know,
named it
has-
the Imaginos body because you can basically do just about anything you can imagine with it form-wise,
Yes.
I think. So she could basically imagine herself wearing a certain type of clothing, and it would actually form that clothing on her.
Yeah.
Or
and
imagine herself with a tail
Yeah.
or wings or something like that.
yeah, we'll get to
Theoretically,
that.
yes, but he pinched the name from an album.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm going to make a video with that music one day. So, but anyway, but this technology of this nanotech is even better than or greater than the Berserker body, I think. I might be wrong about that, Maxie. What do you think? It's because it is a step beyond, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Berserker cells and Imagino cells, aren't they a little different? I mean,
Well, the Berserker cells were the original cells that were created on Venus for cybernetic bodies.
For that terror weapon.
Yeah, well, they were stolen by Mars, as I remember, and Jupiter as well, and like worked on to create different things. And then the Imaginos cells are like an evolution from the Berserker cells, so they're not the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was kind of
Nova took them and worked on them and evolved them further. So yeah, they're a different beastie, but they're sort of like in the same lineage, but they're not the same thing.
I tend to think of them as like if you wanted to equate something, equate them as a Berserker cell, which are not. It would be more like an enhanced Berserker cell, is what I think it would be. But I could be wrong about that. So
I think it's a reasonable stance to take on it. But yeah, they're more advanced than Berserker cells, but they come from the same lineage.
Yeah. Well,
which is why I think when Alita went to Venus, that they were able to deal with her because the probably stuff that they had there to deal with berserkers that were out of control, berserk, that they had a way to deal with the Imaginos body, and that's why she didn't have it when she went back to Mars.
Yeah, they could deactivate them somehow or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, super advanced nanotech, certainly the same kind of self-modification subconsciously. Now, these work different because it kind of goes to, at least in the Imaginos 1.0 body, it was a little more limited than the next 2 steps. But anything she could imagine, she could, like weapons and things like that, she could get. I think in this body, she still has the ability, because it is an Imaginos body, she can still manipulate plasma,
Kind of reminds me of a sort of a slightly less obvious version of the T-1000.
Yeah. Although I think this would be more advanced than the T-1000. But
in certain ways, yes. I mean, the T-1000 just sort of was like a slime, a metal slime that could just take any form it wanted whenever it wanted.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that the way Kashiro was looking at this, that it was more energy intensive, so she didn't bother changing it all up as much as like the T-1000 would have. But I mean, if she was working like she was for Operation Malwolf in this body, it probably would have gone a lot more smoothly for her.
Yeah.
In that she would have been able to change her look.
Yeah, that's right. And they would have thought, they wouldn't have known it was her that did it. Or something. Yeah. Still knows Panzerkunst for sure in this body, because it is still Alita, and she still has that instinctive fighting style. And of course, it's still our girl. I mean, even though she's an android, she has her consciousness has been uploaded into this brain chip in this body right here, and it's still her. So, or has the same memories at the very least, I would say. So then there's the Imaginos 2.0 body. Now that picture might be the 3.0, but I got a different picture for that. So don't.
The first one wasn't enough.
Yeah. Now this one is stronger than the Imaginos 1.0 body, if you can imagine that. She has the ability. Now, Maxie or Lee, or maybe you too, just a fan. I don't know. You're just reading the manga. In this body, I think she can hack systems, can't she?
I remember something about that, but I only got to read the manga series once because when I went to go back and do it again, the site that had uploaded it, it was a less than legal site, so it got taken down. Yeah, I haven't been able to find anywhere to read it since then.
You guys think that I can find it on Manga Dex?
Well, it could be on that Manga Owl. Could be on that, couldn't it? Yeah.
Ray probably sent me where the Max probably sent me where the actually.
Maxie or just a fan? Do you remember? Could she in the Imaginos 2.0 body? Can she hack systems?
Oh, they might be away.
Yeah,
they're both on mute.
Yeah.
I just heard. Did you guys hear a ringing?
I heard a beep.
Yeah, that was my cyborg implant going off.
Yeah, we mentioned that, Maxie. We said you're a cyborg.
No, I've been listening to you off and on while I was doing some work, so I just sort of keeping the wife happy before I came in here. Because
how appropriate is it to have the Pope of the Alita Army be a cyborg? I think it's great.
Oh yes.
I forgot
the house. Like, what is making that noise?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's a cyborg part, Maxie, or is a beeper that you have incorporated in your body?
Yeah, that's right.
That's the high/low glucose alarm. I really wish it had a different noise for each one, so I could know audibly before actually having to scan it to know which one it was. But I had a fairly good idea which one it was.
Okay.
But yeah,
you can be able to modify that. I mean, you can do different ringtones for a phone, for crying out loud. So
you should put like the ringtone of the iPhone, so you don't know what's happening.
just have a recording say, "Hey idiot, your blood sugar's low. Hey idiot, your blood sugar's high."
Yes.
That's got to be the Australian ringtones for it.
Well, anyway, we're going to assume that she can hack systems in this body.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at some point she plugs herself into a computer or something.
Yeah. Well, I know she can hack systems in the Imaginos 2.0, 2.1
She basically
body.
net runs in this body a couple of times.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And the second, when she's in this body after being rebuilt, after things happen, she goes up against Imbadi again, and he attempts to hack her, and she basically says, "Not this time, bitch," and just breaks his fingers.
Actually, I think she breaks his whole hand.
Yeah.
She
bitch slaps him. That's what I like to say. So anyway, you don't want to mess with this girl. Anyway, durability, same, pretty much similar to the Imaginos 1.0 body, and of course, a little, I guess a little bit of a controversy there whether she has relativistic speed or not. But I would assume that if she has relativistic speed in the 1.0 body, the 2.0 body is better. So I'm giving her that because I love Alita and I want her to have it. So there you have it.
At the very least, she moves really freaking fast.
Yeah, she can move freaking fast no matter what you want to think about. Faster than the Berserker body. Has really fast reflexes. We've had discussions about this, about if she did run at relativistic speeds, not only the perception part of it has to be super duper fast, but her systems itself, they have to be able to react, so she can dodge stuff if she wants to dodge it,
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter of recognition, where you see something and you recognize you need to get out of the way, but the body has to be able to perform those functions to get you out of the way. So it seems to me if she could move at relativistic speeds, that would have to be part of it. The thing they would have to build that in, or otherwise, why would you have it? Because it would be you'd be literally running into buildings and trees and stuff all the time. So certainly stamina being an android, and she's really old here, at least 200 years in manga.
Does she ever makes it past 300, Mike? Like 400?
I don't think
No,
the story's
no,
gotten
no.
that far yet.
No, we haven't gotten that far yet, but hey, we get that sequel, who knows?
Yeah.
God, I wish
So,
Kashiro would get back to them to the forward storyline.
oh yeah.
I want to know
Let me
what the
ask
hell
you-
happened.
Like
Yeah.
I know what that's like, wanting for a writer to get back to, continuing a story.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yes.
Let me ask you all, like since I don't have that much of reading the manga, like have you guys noticed it like a improvement throughout the volumes on the drawing?
It changes. His art style
Yeah.
changes over the decades.
Yeah, she looks
Okay.
different in Last Order than she does in the original manga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's style evolves, and when you're watching a series that's been written over the course of a man's lifetime, basically, his productive
Yeah, there's going to be
lifetime.
some changes he goes through.
Yeah,
Well, not
It
only
evolves.
that, Alita grows. I mean, like
Yeah.
say in the manga originally, she's 14 years old or 18 or whatever, a teenager. Now she's in her early to mid 30s. I mean, people don't look the same when they're like 33 years old than when they are when they're like 15. They
Especially
don't.
when they're transplanted into entirely new bodies. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's just the way it works.
Yep. I think Gio's asking more from the point of view that he's an artist and he's looking at the way it's drawn and it's
Yeah.
changing,
Mm.
and he's wondering
Yeah.
why.
And I noticed that in most mangas too. Like it's not the same when it starts than when it's finished or midterm.
Well,
It
you go
always
and watch
gets
the
worse.
early episodes of The Simpsons, and they look like crap.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
you watch the later ones, and they're all slick and smooth and stuff. Yeah, I think
Well, maybe
changes.
he's better drawing later on. Could be that.
Could be
too,
also experimenting with different techniques
New
and stuff
stuff,
to try and make
yeah,
it a little
that's
bit
right.
easier for him or something.
Or maybe you just got bored and changed it up.
That too.
Anyway, super advanced nanotech. Got that same kind of self-modification stuff, and then they
I would
imagine
say
those bodies-
super duper advanced nanotech.
Yeah, well, the super duper's coming up.
Oh, okay. Because at this
And-
point, it's just ungodly levels above the.
Well, she's pretty damn OP on this one, but we're
Feel sorry for Goku.
well, hang on for the next body. It's going to be even more OP. But anyway, she can manipulate plasma in this body as well, and she certainly still knows Panzerkunst, and it's still our girl. She still is going to have that, objective-driven, kind of need, to accomplish. That's what she's going to, kind of what she's. That's just her.
Yeah,
That's just Alita. That's all it is.
Mhm.
Now
Creaky,
yeah,
looking through your list there,
this one.
you're missing something.
What is that?
She has a tail now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that tail. I think you're right. I think that tail.
Well, that deserves, I think, to be on the bulleted list.
It's on this list for sure. But yeah, it should be a bullet. I agree because the creepy.
I figured,
really,
it's a picture. Picture is worth 1,000 words.
I know this is going to
to.
sound weird, but the creaky really likes Alita's tail.
Yes,
that's
we-
just the way.
Well, looking at it,
You've laid down some hints along those lines
All the way, yes,
previously,
that's
so
right.
we were kind of getting the impression that might be the case.
Yes.
Mhm.
So anyway, in this body, this is ridiculously, stupidly OP for sure. She is like she is like a god in this body, or goddess, I guess.
Yeah.
Since she's a female, but stronger than the Imaginos 2.0 body because she is connected to the singularity, which gives her immense freaking power.
She also gets connected to Melchizedek, which is massive amounts of additional.
And you remember we
processing
were
power for it.
talking a while ago about the quantum computer, at least the advancement that when we were talking about it, Lee, about how there was a high degree of predictability you could put on different scenarios and stuff like that.
Well, the computer itself could have, with the right amount of information, a certain degree of predictive ability.
Well, it'd be similar to like when Doctor Strange, in Infinity War, how he went through the 14 million plus scenarios, Now I think with Alita, I don't have any facts to back this up, but just my opinion. I mean, Melchizedek being a super advanced, computer like that, she is going to be able to come up with millions of scenarios like that in probably just nanoseconds.
Actually, was it Melchizedek? Was it built around Jupiter or something?
Yeah, I misspelled Melchizedek. I've left an L out. Look at that.
Yeah.
Melchizedek's in the Space City.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was actually in the Space City.
It's in Jerusalem.
For some reason, I was thinking there was one of the supercomputers was built around Jupiter or something.
Yeah, that's Zeus.
That's Zeus. Yeah, and this one, Melchizedek. This is Arthur, I think,
Okay.
or the
I was
physical
also going
man.
to say Melchizedek. If she's connected to it, she doesn't actually have to do any of the processing.
No.
Melchizedek does it for her.
Yeah.
And can basically upload the results to her.
Yeah, because she's got a brain chip that is so advanced it could receive that.
Mm-hmm.
So, holy crap.
Well, I think it was wasn't the Fata Morgana that was allowing her to do that?
That is the interface.
That is it. Yep. So, I mean, just God almighty, just stupid ass power is what this is. I mean, if Alita fights Thanos in this body right here, he's toast. He's toast within milliseconds.
That's assuming
she makes it before the finger snap.
Oh, she's so fast that she's going to be able to obliterate his ass before he can snap his finger.
Well, she sees him start to do it, and then she comes up and just unleashes holy hell on him before he even gets halfway through with it.
Yeah.
Well, he goes to snap his fingers, and he snaps his fingers, and he realizes that the stones are no longer in the glove; they're just gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or his arm's missing at the elbow.
Yeah, that's the other option.
Yeah.
He will be like, "It was not my elbow what I wanted to flick."
Yeah, that's right. Well, if Tony Stark can steal the stones from him,
he goes to snap his fingers, and she goes to snap his body.
Yes.
Before he can.
But here's the thing, though. I don't know if you've seen this video on YouTube where Thanos fights Saitama. Thanos snaps his fingers, to dissolve, turn Saitama to dust. But Saitama's so fast that even after he snaps his finger, before he dissolves, he punches through, he goes straight through Thanos's chest. So basically they both die. So, but Alita, I think unless she's not aware that he's going to snap his fingers, I mean, if he does it and she doesn't know he's doing it, maybe he could get rid of her that way. But I think even if he did that,
yeah, if she's already on the way in, then there's still going to be some certain amount of.
Well, I even think if he does it and she's not even on the way in, she's so fast, she's still going to be able to kill him before she dissolves. Yeah, so the best that Thanos can hope for is a draw. Mm-hmm. I think, we had a stream on this sometime back, and in terms of, Darkseid, I mean, she'd do a similar thing to Darkseid. Now, Darkseid's different. He has that Omega effect thing going, but she's so fast that she can evade those beams and just punch right through his chest.
Yeah.
He's dead. I mean, she's stupid OP here,
Yeah.
And she can certainly hack systems in this body. And here's another thing that, that we brought up here about a month ago. She, in this body, she's not only a self-healer and has that the ability to imagine things like these wings right here. If she wanted wings, she's got wings.
Mm-hmm.
She is a shapeshifter in this body.
Wasn't she in the last one too?
Could have been. Yeah, could have been a shapeshifter.
It can be whatever she imagined.
Yeah, that's right.
The Imaginos bodies in general, the whole series of Imaginos bodies allowed her some degree of shapeshifting.
Yeah, I think this would be the highest degree of it, though, I would think.
Yeah, very possibly, yeah. I can't remember that much about it, so.
Yeah. And
Imaginos 2.1, a.k.a. the cheat code body.
Yes. Holy shit. And I meant to put, same thing, relativistic speed, all that good stuff, reflexes, all that stuff, longevity, 200 at least in the manga. I meant to put super duper advanced on this one, I think the cells are somewhat the same though, but just really stupid advanced
Yeah, I can't remember
nanotech.
exactly what the advancements were. I just remember that the Imaginos bodies in general were just super advanced and highly powerful.
Yes.
And then each iteration was just more powerful than the one before. I just can't remember exactly how they were more powerful exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, she can self-modify, and that's subconscious. She can do that here. Of course, she can imagine it too, so it doesn't matter.
She can both conscious and
You
subconscious.
can do it either way. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Certainly can manipulate plasma in this body too, and in this body, and I
Among
think
other
probably
things.
in the other two, she's got Thor-like powers in terms of redirecting lightning and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We had a talk on one stream about Darth Sidious. If he was to if he was going to try to do that force lightning on her, and I think in this case, if she was in this body, that'd be a big mistake because she'd just turn it around on him is what she'd do, and then probably add her own lightning to it.
Possibly. There's actually some degree of debate that's been going on about what exactly force lightning is.
Yeah.
Thinking under certain stories, it was basically a manipulation of the force itself.
Oh.
So you'd have to have some degree of force capability of your own to be able to defend against it. But it depends.
Yeah. So anyway, she still knows Panzerkunst in this body.
Yeah, she's still
and having the power she has in this body and knowing Panzerkunst, holy crap, that's just too much, and then of course
starships,
still our girl,
Mhm.
she's still going to achieve those objectives no matter what, so.
Yep.
So anyway, any thoughts about this Imaginos 2.1 body, guys? Now we're not going to talk about which body's the best yet. We're holding that off to tomorrow. We're just trying to learn about the bodies,
I mean, I just can think of like the sexy version of Benedict Cumberbatch being Smaug.
Yes.
but I mean, and one thing that I was thinking, and this is added to every modality of Alita, is being of that age, and I think that we discussed this previously on other Radio Chaos episodes, or in our episode for Alita, is that of that age, that our brain or a regular brain, biological brain, has certain capability to retain, and after that starts forgetting things.
Mhm.
So when you think about it, like Panzerkunst is even second nature reflection to her already. It's not like she remembers much of the training or anything like that. It's like it comes already as us trying to deflect a light or something that might hurt us by reflection too.
Well, in this body though, she's got a brain chip, so she's not going to forget anything. I mean, it's going to be permanently indelled on those, on the electronics, if you want to think of it as that,
Yeah,
I would imagine, considering what the amount of information has to be stored, it'd probably be its own version of some kind of a miniature quantum computer of some sort.
Yeah.
Plus being connected to Melchizedek, she's got that going.
Yeah.
Now,
So an
Maxie
external hard drive.
Yeah, that's right. That's what that's like,
The cloud. She's on the cloud.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, hadn't thought of that. Yeah,
Actually,
you
with
have to
that
run out
kind
of
of thing, she could have multiple bodies on multiple planets and just basically jump between them.
Yeah. I mean, if she's able to net run on this body and the previous one, Imaginos,
Mhm.
yeah, that's also like a given.
Maxie, did we determine whether she was connected to Zeus or not?
I don't think she was connected to Zeus. I think she was connected to the singularity. Like Zeus was like, "Who the fuck's nicking my power?" It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
right.
it's her. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Arthur just went to Zeus and went, "Yeah, just let it go." It's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Arthur is a Melchizedek. Or the manifestation of Melchizedek, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Arthur's like the front man for Melchizedek.
yeah. The user interface is what he is. Yeah. So anyway, stupid OP on this body. The next body, Motorbot. Now this, I'm glad Maxie showed up. This is Maxie's favorite body. She's a cyborg in this body. She's not a android because she has a human brain in this body. she's stronger. She's an order of magnitude stronger than humans in this body. Now, we don't really know a lot from the movie what this body's capable of because we didn't see it that much, except at the very end. I think in the manga, she does some pretty extraordinary things in this body. So
she's definitely stronger than a human. Just we're not sure entirely how much stronger.
And being a cyborg, certainly her durability is going to be much greater than a human's. And the speed of this one, now she's limited on this one on speed, at least in the movie, by regulation. I think she can go to like 100 miles an hour on those wheel feet, But that's because I guess they got like
in the novelization, she's doing 150.
Okay, so all right, well then maybe it'd be 150.
Think about it. Even if she's going 100 miles per hour is the regulated speed on the wheels, that doesn't mean she just can't go that's that fast. She can actually.
Yeah, her motive system is probably limited by that, but her reaction speed and speed of being able to act as far as the body's.
Well, whatever is constraining her speed, if you were to take that off, who knows how fast she could go?
Yeah.
But if you remember when Ito was putting those wheel feet on her, he said, it won't make you any faster regulation, but at least they won't fail you, is what he says, So 150 miles an hour is probably a better number, I guess, Maxie, because that was in the novelization. So. But, she is limited in this one by, like if you want to call it a governor or, some kind of, system.
Some kind of limiting system.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's just say that there are curves and the laws of physics still apply.
Yeah.
And if you try to go too fast around those curves, you are going to go off the track because conservation of angular momentum will kick in.
Oh, I love it when we have a scientist on the stream. So anyway, but her reflexes are faster than humans. Now, we don't know about the reflexes being as fast as a berserker body. The berserker body, those reflexes were under 10 milliseconds. I don't know about this one.
Probably not quite that fast, considering those reflexes in the berserker body relied on the Martian technology.
But freaking fast.
Her core is still Martian technology.
But it's still going to be limited by the Earth technology of the motorball body.
Yeah, well, I think it's often the other way around. Like your brain's got to be moving that fast to move the body that fast.
Possibly. It just seems like the...
Maxie, back to the laws of physics. It's like if you're wearing clothing that is incredibly like breathable or whatever, and I wrap you up in duct tape, it doesn't matter how flexible you are. It doesn't matter the range of motion your clothing can let you have. If you've got something on top, if you've got a layer on top of that restricts you, you're just going to get to your waiting point faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking it's whatever the cybernetic.
I don't know if that analogy is quite right.
Well, I was thinking whatever the cybernetic equivalent of nerves that the motorball body has, it's not going to process signals as fast as the berserker body can.
Well, electricity moves at the speed of light, so.
Right, but that doesn't mean that the actuators and drives and everything else can move as fast as she's telling them to.
Well, think of this. Here's an analog for you. I don't know if any of you...
Nancy, you definitely want the brain operating faster than the body is capable of. I mean, that's order of operations for electronics.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is, too, though, is I don't know if any of you ever remember this computer, but it's called the MZI 8080. It was one of the very first mini computer, or not mini, but micro computers, if you wanted to call them that. And the electricity ran within the speed of light within that in the systems of the circuits. But that computer could not compute near as many instructions as the modern day desktops or laptops. Even though the speed of light is the same, the capability of the system itself has increased over the past 50 years, so I think that'd be a similar thing here, because I think the berserker body is more advanced than the motorball body in terms of capability because its function is combat. Now, motorball, Maxie and I have had this discussion too. Motorball is a combat sport, but it is a sport. You know, the object is to get the motorball past the line of scrimmage. Jesus, that sounds like football. Past the finish line. You know, whereas in combat, you know, the objective is to frickin' survive, you know, and kill the other guy before they kill you, you know. So, I mean, it's kind of a different thing. So the body's just different, I think.
Yeah. I think the best way to compare what Alita is doing with having the Berserker body core and a motorball body or any lesser body would be like you've got your computer now. If you went and fired up Windows 98, you know, kind of like what they do in Captain Marvel, where they're trying to upload whatever the file is.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, and she's like, "What's happening?" "Oh, well, it's loading."
Yeah. That little window pops up with the little bar.
Like, you know, and you've got engineers working around the clock trying to get computers to work as fast as we can think, so that when you click on something, it opens immediately and you're not waiting.
Yeah,
because your brain says this is open, this is where I'm at, but you're not there yet because you're waiting on the system to catch up.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's basically what's happening with her motorball body. Is she is, in all likelihood, as we've all said, she is most likely thinking much faster. Her actual reflexes, her mental reflexes, are far superior to anything that body can generate. But she's still limited by how fast the motors and actuators and everything else.
But that's basically what I was trying to get at, was basically the lower tech motor body isn't going to be able to process any of the signals as fast as the Berserker body can process them.
But you see, I think this body, now we're not going to get into which body's better here, but I mean, this body in terms of playing motorball is going to be optimized for it, because it's going to have, like you see that one of those bullets up there, replaceable parts. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're thinking of like if you try to compare it to the Berserker body, which automatically heals when it's injured, that's going to be a kind of a tough thing to manage when you're in the middle of a race like they do in motorball. Whereas they can go in the pits here, you know, take the damaged arm off and put a new arm on and get her back out on the track like real
modular systems.
Yeah, that's
that can
right.
be easily unplugged and plugged back in.
And it's a matter of function, I think. You know, as opposed to just, you know, this body's got this capability and this one doesn't. You know, it's kind of like trying to play baseball with a football. Yeah. You know, it's not going to work. You know.
Yeah, the Berserker body is a jet fighter. This is a sports car.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Tick.
She can still manipulate plasma with this body. We saw that at the end of the movie, where she pointed that Damascus blade up there at Nova, and you sorry ass, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And that plasma went right up that sword, you know. So she can still manipulate plasma even in this body. And yeah, this is our girl. She still knows Panzerkunst, and she is still going to be objective driven, you know. So now, Maxie, this is your favorite body. What do you think?
Well, it's my favorite body from the movie so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen the depth and breadth of what Wetter's going to come up with. They're just wettering our appetite at this point.
Yeah, they are. Oh, I want to see a lot of different bodies, Alita in different bodies, you know, and all the sequels and all that we're going to get. You hear me, Disney?
Yeah, come on, Disney. You've got a bunch of people with money who want to spend it, and you're just being stupid at this point.
Yes.
Well, they did just get a new CEO, so I'm hopeful.
Oh, keeping fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Well, apparently Cameron has a good
relationship with this guy.
Relationship with this Bob.
Yeah.
The one who's running the show now. So.
Yeah.
Well, here's hoping.
Yep.
Here's hoping.
He's hoping the stars are aligning and Mars is in a close orbit, and
there you have it.
Well, we got to pass Pandora first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't wait for that thing to come out. That's going to be great. That's not just but 2 weeks away, folks.
Nope, it's coming out for my birthday.
Cool. When's your
That was
birthday
nice of
there?
them.
16th.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
nice.
yeah, I'm counting that. I'm sure me and Cameron are tight, and we that's a nice gesture. I'm sure.
Just a fan whose birthday's on the 16th. Let's release that sucker on his birthday.
I'm taking it. That's how I'm interpreting it, anyways. I'm sure he gets my letters and whatnot.
Mm.
Yeah, but then it's not nice of him. You're gonna still have to pay for the ticket.
Oh well.
No special treatment on your birthday.
Well, now we have the tuned body, and that body is, in a lot of ways, it's similar to the Berserker body, and it's certainly different in a lot of ways too. But she is pretty freaking strong in this body. I mean, there's that one panel that I really love in the manga, where where Figure 4 and Yolg and her are standing in this building is collapsed on them. And, Figure 4 and Yolg are laying down there, and Figure 4 says, God, am I glad that window was there. We could have been crushed, and she's up behind them holding up this big ass column that probably weighs like a ton, and she's holding it up like that, looking at him like, you dumbasses, So, and of course, I think in this body too, she also ripped out the guts of that suicide machine, and just kind of held it up in the air.
I thought that was the Imaginos body.
Was that the Imaginos body?
Yeah, in the original.
That was 1.0.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember that scene too. Yeah, she was in that sleek Imaginos body, and I guess she was upset by the suicide machine, decided to do something about it.
Yeah. Now, she has pretty good durability here, but I don't know about self-healing. I don't remember.
I didn't see any sign of self-healing because she ends up losing an arm. She loses an eye. She loses a foot.
Yeah.
And none of it regrows or anything.
Well, she had a peg leg, remember?
Yeah, because she lost a foot.
Yeah, that's right. So, but anyway, still a cool body. Speed is similar to that of the Berserker body, I guess,
It seemed to be about the equivalent, yeah.
Yeah, probably pretty close. And then certainly her reflexes and stamina are better than humans. And certainly her longevity hasn't changed much because this body comes out, she gets this body after the Berserker body and the Motorball body for sure. And it's got nanotech in it as well, Now, I don't think she has that
no, there's no self-modification.
Yeah, that stuff's not there. So that's why I got a question mark there. But she still knows Panzerkunst because
it's still Alita.
She kicked the holy crap out of Figure 4, who's a big ass guy.
Who was training to take down Cyborg.
I just love that one panel, and he's trying to do a palm strike on her, and she kind of just sidesteps him and hits him in the nose, It's like his thought was, holy shit, she's fast. And she just literally just stomps him in the mud, It's just really funny, And he keeps getting up, he keeps getting up, and she says, what is wrong with this guy?
It's like smack, best 2 out of 3. Smack, smack, best 3 out of 5.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she just beats the crap out of him. But I think in that case, not to get too far off of the body here, but I think that kind of made an impression on her. That's when she first started, having feelings for him, because she said, hey, here's somebody that's kind of like me, So,
just doesn't give up.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then here's the Urn body. Now, what this body is, this one is a body. Now, I don't have the right body there. I couldn't find a good picture for it. This is more of the Berserker body, I think, with that damn sentient gun there, Danko, which I think is funny. But she did have a body when she was in the Urn military before they transported her, put her in a Berserker body, which she did training in, and she did some missions in, I think. But it is still a pretty damn good body. I mean, it's, got a lot of strength to it. I don't think it has self-healing, although it might. And she certainly is faster than humans, both in reflex and speed. Don't know about her longevity here. I think she was 17 years old when they put her in this body, when they transferred her from this body to a Berserker body. So I don't know how long this body would last or anything like that. It still has nanotech in it, particularly, and she's got cyber blood, heart's blood in this body as well. but I don't think she has that self-modifying feature in this body. You know, this
No,
is
she
not the
does not.
Berserker. No, she doesn't. She does have that sentient weapon, which is Danko. And what I really like about him is they'll be doing stuff and they get in an argument. You know, she's arguing with a gun.
Danko's got his attitude.
Well,
Yeah,
I think you're mixing your metaphors here. Is United Republics of Mars, which is the
Yes.
movie verse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is her Martian military body.
Oh
I
no,
think.
this is the that picture is the body she comes
Yeah.
back with after
Yes.
she's been to Venus.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This picture's not right for that
Yeah.
because I couldn't find the right.
Well,
picture.
any of her flashbacks in the movie is basically the body.
Yeah, that's right.
So you could have grabbed the moon fight or her training with Gelda, any of those shots.
Now weren't those? Now wait a minute. Weren't those berserker bodies?
They are, but that's what they were using. The were using.
No, I'm
Berserker
talking
bodies.
about the body she had before.
The mercenary bodies she was using?
I'm not sure she was a mercenary in it, but there was. If you look at that backstory, that that one video that's on there, the Great War, the Fall, they referenced that body and that she was transferred when she was 17 years old. She was transferred from this body to a Class 1 berserker body. That's what the video says.
Right.
So-
Okay.
So I don't.
No, I'd
sure.
missed that. Yeah, so it wasn't a berserker body; it was just a cyborg
Yeah,
so
training
with the-
body.
yeah,
If it
that's
was a
right.
class 1 berserker body, that could have still been, a military grade berserker body.
Well, this is not the berserker body right here. This is the body she had before she got transferred into the berserker body. Which in this, Maxie's right. This is not the right body. That picture is not the right body for what I'm trying to do here. But that's
Well, then the body you're looking for is the one where she's training with Gelda in the flashback.
yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can. use
That would be the one that would reference to this.
Yeah, I could have got that one where she had that sword over her head, right? When they were in the gravity chamber.
Well, it
That
was a
would've been the
staff she was using, yeah.
right- Yeah, or
I think it was a
the
staff.
Yeah, I
Gilda
could have
was
used-
using a staff,
I could
certainly.
have used that body. Damn it.
Yeah,
So-
that would work.
That would have been better. But anyway, be that as it may, she has.
Still like the glutes on this one, though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, that's my niche you're talking about.
I'm being completely
I know.
correctly biological. I didn't say she got a sexy ass, dude. No, I said I like.
Well,
the glutes.
that's better than me, Maxie. I said I liked her tail on the Imagine It Was 2.1 body. So anyway, it is what it is.
I'm a big
and-
fan of cat girls.
Yeah. And then, of course, yeah, you got 2 cats, don't you?
hmm I
Yeah.
got my cat girl right here.
Uh-oh.
Give her a pat.
And, of course, she does no Panzer Kunst in this body, and it's still our girl. So, Any thoughts about this Erm body? We don't see this too much except in the manga, in the Mars.
Yeah, not really a lot of information on it, really.
No, not really. No, that's why I got a lot of question marks.
Hey, I have something interesting to say. Nice booty, though.
Hey, look, any body Alita is going to be in is going to be high ooh and a good booty, as they would say. Except for that octopus body that Nova wanted to put her in.
That's got no booty.
Yeah, that's not. We're not going to need.
That's
to
a
put
weird
that
kink.
body.
That's a weird kink of Nova.
That's leaning heavily into tentacle hentai territory. Keep away from that.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly right. So, anyway, guys, those are the bodies that I got. I guess each one of those guys right there, and I think not that one. That's not the one I want. This is the one I want. So tomorrow, what we're going to go over is we're going to pick out which ones are the best. I think that's kind of what we want to do tomorrow. So today is kind of like study hall, where we were going to try to, learn about the bodies, and then that way we can go into that with a little more, how would you say, a little bit better, forearmed with knowledge, as they would say.
You haven't got the dot point of the octopus body.
We're not going. No. I'm not putting that damn body in there.
Keep your kink to yourself, Max.
That body there. No, we're not doing that body.
We do not speak of that body.
No. That
That body
Nova,
will
he was
must not be named. That's like
Yeah,
a Lord Voldemort body.
well, that
I-
damn Nova, he wanted to put her in that. He's a bitchy little bastard, so we're not putting her in that body.
That's
I,
like the Cthulhu body. We don't speak of that one.
No.
I'm just having a Lindy, you guys. You know.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Boy, Angelus would be smacking you if you brought up the octopus body.
Well,
He
it's
wants-
lucky he's not here then.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants that ooh-woo, you know.
Is he better yet? He was sick there for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't know. He might have worked today, and I didn't get advertised this stream like I'd normally do because I had a lot going on. Plus, I had to work on some stuff, so I couldn't do it. You know, but I literally advertised it 20 minutes before the stream. So,
Oh, by the way, there's a stream. Oh, is it? Oh, good.
oh, good, yeah. Now, I certainly put the presentation together last Monday, so you know, before I knew I was going to get busy. Okay, guys, did we miss anything?
Well, I can't think of anything.
We
I
cannot
was a
compare
little.
them to know. We can't compare them, so no.
Yeah, we're not going to compare them. We were just going over them today. So, what was you going to say, Lee?
I was just going to say I was a little disappointed I didn't get to talk to you a little bit earlier because I was hoping to get your thoughts on what you read in the chapter. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's one of the
Yeah,
things I
well-
like about Archive of Our Own because that one allows you to have discussions with your readers in the comment section, and you can't do that in fanfiction.net.
Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm my treatments. Well, what my thoughts were, Lee, is like I told you, you know, I'm not a very good critic when it comes to, you know, kind of evaluate it because I'm really enjoying it. You know, I mean,
Okay.
it's kind of cool, you know, that they're going into Iron City to deliver something to this
Yeah,
one.
you got to the the end of chapter 3, right?
Yes, I got all the
Okay.
way through that. So the next chapter is when I get to see Alita, I guess, you know. So
Well, yeah, basically, be a passing meeting
Yeah.
with Alita in that
Yeah.
one. What did you think of Jason in the end of that one?
well, you know, I think, well, I do know that
Did he strike you as brave or just stupid?
stupid.
Okay.
There's a very fine line between those two things.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. I thought he was pretty cool when Alma was telling him, she wanted somebody to listen to her because her father had hung himself, you know.
Mhm.
And then of course he said, I had a similar experience. My father shot himself. And when he
Yeah,
said
and
that,
it
he
was
went,
just
holy
like-
shit, I shouldn't have said that because guns are outlawed.
Yeah, he starts to panic
Yeah.
because he's like, "What did I really just say that?"
Yeah, that's right. So, but I think he was. I just think he's. I don't say he's stupid. He probably he was talking. He was maybe his guard was down a little bit, and he felt sorry for her and all that, and he just said it because it was the truth, you know.
Okay.
So, you know.
Well, mostly also at the end of chapter 3, it's like it was trying to portray him as somebody who just cannot stand to just not do something when he sees something like that happening.
Yeah.
He probably didn't need to do something considering what it did to him,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. So,
Okay.
and I'm really looking forward to Maxie's chapter 11 too.
Yeah. I think the rest of us are. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
just-
all right.
Yeah. By the way, my treatment's coming along well too. I got like 11 slides in it with pictures and narrative. It's bullets though. It's a treatment. It's not like what you guys are writing, you know. So, but it's painting the story, you know. It's doing that. So, and I'm kind of hanging around. I'm kind of messing with the where I am right now because I got a couple of things there I need to change, you know. But just briefly, I can tell you one thing. Alita ends up into this little town that I made up, you know, and I based it on a movie that was in another movie I saw called Red Dawn, you know. And this little village is called Calumet, and she goes in there, and you know, she's looking for these mercenaries because she wants to find Nova, you know. And she goes into Calumet, because she kind of was told by somebody that, you know, these guys might be there or something. She goes there, you know, and she goes into, you know, she wants to get a drink of water, you know, for one thing. You know, she's a cyborg, you know, she's not an android, so she needs water, you know. So she goes in there and she walks down the middle of the street, which is, you know, kind of like an old Western town, sort of. And she sees this saloon there, and she goes in it, kind of like the Old West type thing, you know. And she goes in there and she asks the bartender for a glass of water. And the bartender is really friendly. He says, sure, it's on the house, you know, something like that. And, you know, she starts drinking. There's these 4 guys in there, and you know, they kind of try to force themselves on her, you know, and
Try to quote unquote buy her a drink, as it were.
Not buy her a drink, but they, you know, they kind of want to take advantage of her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One of them says, you know, a pretty girl like you don't need to be way out here, you know, and you know, kind of making some, you know, you need to, you know, satisfy us or something like that. One of them points a gun at her, and that was the exact wrong thing to do.
Yeah. So did she feed him the gun?
Well, she didn't do that, but basically she took them all out within 3 seconds, all 4 of them, you know. And the bartender's like, "Holy crap! I've never seen anybody move like that," you know. And I don't want to go any further than that, you know.
Okay.
But
just
yeah,
out of curiosity, when you say Red Dawn, were you talking about the movie where the Russians invade America?
yeah, that's right. And I'm
Okay.
talking about the 1984 version, not the Chris Hemsworth version, you know. Because
Okay.
the name of that town was called Calumet. That's where I came up with the name. So
Okay.
there is no Calumet, Colorado, by the way.
I think I played a game based on that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother seems to think Calumet was really La Junta. That's a little town that's, well, kind of east of you, Lee, I think, you know. But yeah, I think that's the town they meant that were basing it on. But you know, Alita goes there. I don't make any mention of Colorado because that's kind of way away from the Badlands, I think. So, you know, and you know, but anyway, I'm having fun writing it, you know. So,
Did you get a bit motivated after Radio Chaos the other week?
I think so. Yeah, I was. Yep.
Well, that's why I like to get, you know, people to bring up their work, because it's always good to have some other opinions and some other ideas, because you're just one brain, and your
Yeah,
brain can
that's
get
right.
stale on an idea,
Yep.
and having other people add little bits to it can then motivate you to, you know.
When I
bring
get a
them
little
together.
further along, I'll put it in a Google Docs or on Microsoft Drive or something, and ask you and Lee if you want to, you know, kind of
Okay.
if you have any suggestions, you know.
Okay.
I'm hoping this Christmas, if I can get some time to myself, that I'm not lifting, is to get into Lee's work, because I've been meaning to do that for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I have been curious to hear what you would have to say about it, because
Maxie would be a better critique than I would do a better critique than I will, because I read it and I say, oh man, this is pretty cool, you know. I don't think about the techniques or any of the, you know,
well,
the
one of the things I
storytelling.
was hoping to hear from you too is, you know, how well the characters get portrayed as far as Ito, Gerhard, and Alita, because that's one of the big things I have a worry about is whether or not I'm portraying them well enough.
Oh, I think so. I think with in the case of Loretta, even in the case of Alma, Loretta's dad, you know, I think, and what's that other woman's name? I can't remember now.
Natira?
Yeah. I think those. Yeah, I got a picture in my mind of them. I think you're doing it justice.
Okay.
But like once again,
Well,
I'm not a very good at critical.
And also, those are characters that I came up with. They don't actually appear in the movie or the manga, so I'm more worried about, you know, portraying Alita in an Alita-like fashion, basically.
Yeah. Well, 2 of the characters that are in my story, one of them is actually my stepfather, you know, which I use his name, and another one is a friend of mine, you know.
Okay.
And my stepfather, you know, he actually had his own bar there in North Carolina that he built, and he helped me build this bar I have here, you know, in Colorado. So I said, hey, perfect. He can be the bartender.
Yeah,
So,
they often say that if you want to characterize properly, write people you know as characters in your story, and
Yeah.
one of the big things is write the worst person you know as your villain, because that often gives you a really solid villain that's not one dimensional.
Yeah.
yeah.
Get some characterization to them because you're putting characteristics of people you are already familiar with into them.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, Lee, when you're wondering whether you're writing yourself as the character or you're actually writing the character.
Yeah. Well, remember that Creek asked me if I'd put a little bit of myself into the main character, and I actually tried very hard not to do too much of that because I had been reading about the trope of, the self-insert, and it was getting a lot of negative press, as it were. So I tried very hard not to do that, but I'm afraid that I might have done a little bit more of that than I intended.
Well, I think if you insert yourself in something like that, that's going to be kind of cheesy, but I don't see anything wrong with you putting a character in there that a little bit about what a character like that would go through, or a little bit
also
about
considering the
personality.
mental illness aspect of it, because I can only write about mental illness from my own experience with it, really.
Yeah.
So I guess there's that.
Yeah, on my story. Oh, go ahead, Max.
I was just going to say it's more a case of, are the characters in your story different, or are they all just aspects of you that are obvious? Kashiro says that all the characters in his manga, and you've seen that picture with how many characters there are. He says they're all facets of him.
And I don't think I did that with mine necessarily.
And he blatantly says, "No, that's a bit of me. That's a bit of me. That's a bit of me. That's a bit of me."
Well, I am. Oh, go ahead.
He's not shy about it. He doesn't give a crap. He's like, you don't like the way I do it, don't read it. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm debating whether or not to put a character in my story that is kind of like me in some ways. Not me. It's not going to be me, but
does he lift?
Well, he's going to be big ass guy. So anyway,
does he even lift, bro?
Well, weightlifting in the 26th century is probably a thing of the past because people are too busy trying to survive. So, but I want it to be like analog to Figure 4, sort of.
I thought you would like to be like Grisha.
Like who?
Like Grisha.
Oh no! No.
That's too much.
Anyway, I'm still playing with that, whether I want to do it or not. See, I'm not doing this as like you guys are doing it because, you've kind of put. My feeling is okay. Here's an ending I kind of want to get to, and how do I connect all this together and go with that, and make that happen or something, or at least get in the ballpark. I'm not doing that. I'm writing the story and seeing where it takes me, And of course, the one problem I've kind of encountered in that is you get to a point and you say, oh shit, what do I do now?
I have actually ended up hitting that with chapter 23 because I had an idea of where I wanted to go, but with some of the changes I did in the last rewrite, it kind of altered where I want to go with it. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do now.
You painted yourself into a side street, didn't you?
I'm not sure I painted myself into a corner so much as just I'm not sure exactly what street I want to go down now.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am.
Stop pensing it. Just write and see what happens.
Yeah, that's
your brain will find a way.
I've been trying to, but one of the problems is it's a time of the year where my depression hits me, and it's been draining a lot of my motivation for just about anything at this point.
I call that a Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't really have too much depression, so I don't know how to tell you that. So what
it's kind of like having a malware in your computer where the depression is forcing your system to waste a lot of resources on it.
Well, I guess the one thing I do have I don't want to get too deep into this because we're going on almost 3 hours now. I got to feed my dog. But anyway, the only thing I guess I would have anything that'd be close to that was I'm a little worried about my dog, but I wouldn't call that depression because it doesn't affect my ability to, do things. I mean, I do worry about him, but it's kind of kind of an ancillary thing almost. You know.
Well, part of it is depression basically makes it so a lot of the stuff that you enjoyed doing and
don't know
meant a
it.
lot to you,
Yeah.
it just suddenly just stops mattering. You
It
just
gets to a point that even food doesn't have taste, literally.
yeah, something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing matters. It's just none of it's important. It's all just a bunch of random shit that you'd rather just not deal with.
Yeah.
It's true. I can relate.
Well, I have had thoughts about, nothing is more important than my dog, and I have friends,
That's
that
very
I
human.
think that
Actually,
they're not as important as my dog.
Yeah.
I do have that, but not too much,
but think about
anyway,
it, man. You can kill a person as and mangle them in a movie, but don't you touch a cat or a dog. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I have friends of mine back in North Carolina. He was telling me that he can't stand to see anybody. And this is a big boy. I mean, this guy bench presses 600 pounds. And he says if I see anybody hurting an animal, they're gonna deal with me. And I said, yeah, I'm the same way. If you want to, I'm a pretty easygoing guy mostly. But if you want to get my ire, hurt my dog. You'll find out. But anyway, I don't want to get too into that too much, So, But anyway, Maxie and Lee, what I'll end up doing when I get to this one spot that I'm at right now, where I'm going to kind of write some things, I got to add a couple of things and all that. I'll put it on maybe Google Docs or Microsoft Drive or something like that, because it's a PowerPoint presentation is what it is. Of course, Maxie is PowerPoint, right?
What a shock. You got Captain Chaos and Captain PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, the thing about it is, though, I do have pictures on it. It's kind of existing pictures, and you got to use your imagination. But I do have, I got kind of bullet points, like you would put in a treatment like that, So this is my third treatment. So
Okay.
Anyway, I'd like to get y'all's feedback, some suggestions, out of it,
Okay.
Okay, guys. So anyway, I guess we didn't miss anything. We went over the bodies, and we're going to use that as ammunition. And Maxie, I am going to put a PowerPoint together for the thing tomorrow. And
I'm wondering.
99 slides.
No.
Oh.
No, not 99 slides. No. I did that one time, and it was a 4-hour stream.
I got 99 slides for Alita in one.
What? No, Alita's everyone, man.
Yeah, Alita was on everyone. Yeah, almost. So, but anyway, okay. So we didn't really miss anything too much, I guess. And as you can see there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. And if you have any problems with that, she will burn your ass with that damn plasma weapon. So, and of course,
self-insert much creaky.
say again, Maxie.
Self-insert much creaky.
Something like that, yeah. And this is our queen, of course. Rosa is number one in the Creek book. She is a great actor. I think she should have been nominated, man. That's for sure. I mean, just gosh, the way she pulled Alita off, man, was amazing. And of course, it don't hurt that our girl Rosa is really pretty. So that kind of adds to the ooh-woo factor here on that one. And I also want to give a couple of shout outs, like I've started doing here recently. One to Elle Lamont. The Creek really likes her a lot, and and Jesse Fisher. I mean, we had a lot of fun with those two on the streams. That was
very
Elle,
enjoyable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Elle stuck with us the entire time. It was like I guess like Angela said, she said Maxie asked her how long can you spend with us, and she said, well, as long as you guys want to hang out with me. And then Angela says, oh, you better be careful. So it was really funny, but she hung in there with us the whole 3 hours,
Yeah.
And she was great. And Jessie Fisher, she couldn't stay with us the whole time, but she was a delight, man. She was really fun. We had a lot of fun with her.
I think you're forgetting a couple, aren't you? Leda Calligridis and Pat.
Oh, well, Leda Calligridis was great too. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, one of the things on that stream I remember is she asked me what was her favorite line. Of course, I had no problem guessing that one. That's the Creek's favorite line too, you know. So, but we had fun with her on that. And you know, if you remember, what's his name? Played the cyborg jacking victim.
Hugo,
Demetrius Polito. You know, he was good too. You know, he hung in there. We had a lot of chaos going on that day, and he did not abandon us. He stuck with us.
Oh yeah.
So we got that thing going. You know, so
appreciated that a lot.
Holy shit, yeah, and I'll tell you, the Creek was brand new to streaming. Boy, it was amazing that pulled off as good as it did. So, you know. But that was a fun stream too. We've had several fun streams. I mean, you know, even before I came on, you know, it was there was some fun streams, you know, with what that girl that played the body double. What's her name? Selena Layan. Yeah, she was a lot of fun too.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, Maxie, you want to talk about now? You going to be on this one, Maxie, or?
Well, I wasn't expecting to, but my wife's not very well this weekend, so I might get a pass.
Oh.
But the plan was that Angelus was going to run the show, although
he's not doing well either, I don't think.
No, so I'm still waiting for show notes, and it's on.
Oh. Holy moly.
He's running a bit behind this week.
Well, he's probably pretty sick. I mean, that, you know, he's been good lately about getting those show notes out. And you can see who our guest is going to be tomorrow.
Perhaps me.
That's you. That's right. Yeah.
It's a Giancarlo double feature.
That's right. And Giancarlo, this is for the Creek's placeholder thumbnail. You know, Maxie does a lot better job than I do, I think, on it. So, you know, his looks more professional. So
he just can take care about Alita's booty.
Okay, so Maxie,
I'm not related to her, so I can.
Yeah, she's my niece. I can't really say anything about that. So, you know, or else she'll cut my head off if I do. So I don't want to do that. So, you know, with that monomolecular edge blade there, you know, so. Yeah. All right, guys. So Maxie, I guess we're just going to kind of just figure out which body's the best, right?
Yes, there's not a lot to it. Not a great difference.
Well, what I'm going to do, Maxie, is kind of like I did with the Uwu stream last month, except it's not going to be based on Uwu, but I'll have a little single elimination, you know, kind of draw set up, you know, where the people in the chat, and we can vote on it and stuff like that. I've kind of got that planned out already. So,
right.
So if the show notes don't happen, we'll still be able to pull it off, I think.
I would do a Twitter poll, but they only allow you like 4 or 5 options. They don't allow you.
Yeah,
like 15.
that's. Well, the problem with the Twitter poll too on this one is that a lot of folks on Twitter may not be on this. You know.
Well, I mean, we've got to get some decent end numbers from somewhere, because the stream usually only has like 14 people max.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
That's not a huge number of votes.
Yeah, I think we had 10 on our stream last month. You know, I think on the Uwu side, the Berserker body beat the Imaginos body 6-4. I think is what it was. So, so if you do a Twitter poll, though, yeah, I mean, let me think about that, because even if they're not watching the stream, they can still vote.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll get some more end numbers. We can chuck it across Facebook as well. See if we can get some engagement there. The other thing I was thinking, maybe we could do some sort of form in Google Forms and have people vote that way. And that way we can have as many options as we want.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd pull that. See, one of the things I got to do is I got to update this draw in real time.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we'd be collecting the numbers and people still be voting after we've collected the numbers. So, you know, or after we've, you know, figured out who won this pairing, you know, be kind of like this, Maxie, because I showed this a while ago. Oops, wrong thing. It's let's see, where was that? Right here, I think. That's kind of what we did on the Uwu thing,
right.
you know. So, we have people vote on that, and then you move on to this one, they're still voting on that. So,
yeah.
that's going to be kind of
So,
tough.
so you were doing an elimination rather than a straight up pick your favorite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Elimination might work better.
Yeah, we'll see,
Eliminations take days if you try and do it, on Twitter or on
that's
Facebook
right.
or whatever.
Well, you can do one. I don't know what the shortest amount of time you can do on a Twitter poll. I've done them where like it's a day. I've done that, but who knows? Maybe you can do it in an hour. I have no idea.
Hmm.
I mean, I've done some polls.
I'm a Twitter poll noob, so I don't know.
Yeah, I am too, really. So anyway, but this is going to be fun. We're going to certainly folks are going to be looking at Alita's Uwu and say, oh yeah, this one too. But we're going to go beyond that on this one. We're going to, all the capabilities, her as a person, that kind of stuff,
Oh yeah. I was listening in, so because I was working, so I couldn't comment. Back when you were talking about the body changing her personality a bit, it's actually covered in the manga where Grishka leaves the rest of the body that he was in, that he'd stolen from
Kanuba.
No, it wasn't the Kanuba one. It was one he had before that she trashed originally, where he suddenly got way more verbose, and she's like, "How come you're talking so much now?"
Oh,
and he actually mentions, "Oh, the body affects the mind, like the mind affects the body." So,
yeah, yeah, that was the point of what we were talking about there.
Yeah, but it's actually referenced in the early part of the manga.
Yeah.
Says the guy who's read it 14 times.
Yeah. 14, I thought it was 8, but okay, 14. All right.
It's 14.
Oh, man. Well, that's cool, though.
Well, I haven't finished the 14th read because the 14th read is referencing for the writing, and I stopped for a while, so I need to get back to that.
Yeah.
It's sitting here next to me on my left, a little pile of books waiting for me.
Well, you and Lee be on the lookout for that link I'm going to put in Google Docs or whatever I can put a PowerPoint presentation in.
Okay.
So,
yeah, put the go ahead and send it to me in the direct messages on Discord. Yeah.
I was going to say my next chapter kind of feels like Teagle trying to get around the loop, which is actually the part that I'm writing next, where he can't get up over the loop because he's too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, he is massive, isn't he? Okay, folks, join us tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty fun stream, I think. We'll figure something out for the voting thing on it, So.
And I was just going to say we've got a whole heap of interesting topics going all right through into the new year. So
nice.
If you're at all interested in coming on, check those out and pick one that you like and join us on that day.
You bet. Okay, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because the Creek likes it, and he's running the stream. I'll be running the stream tomorrow too. So anyway, that's the thing. Yeah. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita army.
How ironic is that?
Yeah, that's right. That's about as ironic as a safe falling on somebody. Okay, guys, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. Any final thoughts at all? Lee, you got any final thoughts?
Not really.
Giancarlo, how about you?
I think that to put it all in a nutshell, it doesn't matter the armor if it's not Alita that it's the pilot.
That's right.
That makes a whole difference.
You have a point.
Yeah, you do. Just a fan. Any last thoughts?
No, I think we covered it all pretty thoroughly.
I think so. Hopefully we educated folks on the bodies when they look at them tomorrow. Or at least the people who are on this stream, which is not a whole bunch. Maxie, any thoughts?
Love Alita, live Alita, get a sequel.
Yeah, that's it. Sequel. Give Alita her sequel, please.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna write Bob Iger a letter, and that'll have a big impact. I'm so sure.
Yep.
So,
He'll read it and go, "My God, he's got a great idea. I'm going to run with this."
yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah, or he's gonna say, "Who?"
What now?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I guess
that guy who did Boba Fett did that one, didn't he? Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Crunch, 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 throws it over his shoulder.
yeah. All right. Well, I guess that just leaves us with our call to action on my count of three, and that is 1, 2, 3.
Film
Film
Build those sequels, baby.
baby.
All right. We'll see you on the Alita live stream next week, and we'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.